You can change what you do every day, and that will change what you get in life. If you want real progress, stop relying on willpower and start using simple systems that make action automatic and reliable. This audiobook will show clear steps you can use right away to turn goals from ideas into real results. You will hear how to set goals that match what you actually do each day, how to build short routines that keep you moving, and how to track tiny habits so you know what is working. You will learn how to remove the noises and interruptions that steal your time, how to break big projects into small repeatable steps, and how to plan mornings and evenings so your focus stays sharp. Expect practical tools, not slogans. You will get short exercises to try immediately and quick ways to test if a change is helping. You will discover one question that makes a goal honest and useful, and one 5-minute practice that makes a habit stick. You will also hear how to handle setbacks, how to redesign a failing system, and when to change a plan as life shifts. Listen for details you can feel in your day. Picture the calm of a clear task list, the relief of a completed small step, and the steady lift in energy when your week follows a plan. Notice how tiny checks on a habit tracker add up until you stop thinking about effort and just get things done. Stay with this whole audiobook and you will leave with a step-by-step method to design systems that work for your life and a handful of simple daily rules you can start using tonight. If you want less noise, more focus, and steady forward movement, this is the practical guide that shows you how to build it and keep it. Chapter 1. Define clear goals that match your true daily actions. Every person has a vision of how life should look. Some see financial stability, others want stronger health, deeper relationships, or the quiet satisfaction of knowing they lived with purpose. Yet most people never reach these goals, not because they lack intelligence or desire, but because the goals they set do not match the actions they take every single day. It is easy to write a list of ambitions. It is harder to align those ambitions with real behaviors. The truth is simple and unshakable. A goal is only real when it shows up in the structure of your days. You cannot say you want strength if you never move your body. You cannot say you want peace if your hours are filled with noise and distraction. You cannot say you want success if you avoid the small steps that build it. The path to real achievement begins by defining goals that are not just attractive ideas in your head, but are deeply connected to how you live. The bridge between what you want and what you do is where your growth begins. To define clear goals that match your daily actions, you must first step back and ask yourself what truly matters. Many people chase goals they never questioned. They say they want wealth because society tells them it is important. They say they want fitness because others value appearance. But when the desire does not come from within, daily action feels forced. True goals must come from clarity of values. You must ask, what kind of life do I want to live? What qualities do I want to embody? What legacy do I want to leave? This step is not about creating a perfect vision of the future, but about bringing honesty into the present. If you value freedom, then your goals must reflect actions that create independence. If you value health, then your goals must reflect habits that support vitality. If you value learning, then your goals must reflect time spent in study and practice. When goals grow from values, daily action becomes natural instead of forced. Once you are clear on what matters, you must make those goals precise. Vague goals breed vague actions. If you say you want to be healthier, it is too wide. What does it mean in action? Does it mean walking 30 minutes every day? Does it mean reducing sugar in your meals? Does it mean sleeping 8 hours at night? Precision brings power because it gives you a way to measure whether your actions align with your goals. A clear goal transforms daily life into a system where every step can be seen and measured. The next step is to examine your current daily actions with brutal honesty. Write down what you actually do from morning to evening. Look at how you spend your hours. If you spend more time scrolling through a screen than building skills, then your actions show your real priorities. This truth may hurt, but it is the beginning of change. What you do every day is the truest reflection of what you value, whether you admit it or not. To grow, you must bring your stated goals and your lived actions into alignment. Once you see the gap between what you want and what you do, you can begin to close it. Do not attempt to change everything at once. Instead, choose one small action that reflects your goal and build it into your routine. If your goal is financial growth, start with one simple behavior such as tracking your spending daily. If your goal is health, start with one consistent change such as drinking more water each morning. The key is to prove through action that your goal is not just a wish, but a lived reality. Small, consistent actions over time create systems that carry you forward without constant willpower. A goal must also be realistic. This does not mean limiting your ambition, but grounding it in steps you can sustain. Too many people set goals that sound impressive, but collapse under daily life. If you set a goal of reading 3 books a week while working full-time and raising children, you will fail and grow discouraged. Instead, align your goal with your current season of life. Read 10 pages a day. Build consistency first. As life evolves, increase the challenge. By setting goals that match your real circumstances, you ensure your daily actions are possible and sustainable. Discipline is required, but discipline is not harshness. Discipline means you respect yourself enough to follow through. If your goal is to rise early, then respect yourself by going to bed on time. If your goal is to build savings, then respect yourself by saying no to impulse spending. Discipline is self-respect in action. Without it, goals remain words. With it, goals become part of your character. It is important to understand that goals are not about creating a perfect future image. They are about shaping the present in a way that honors your values. Many people delay happiness until they reach a certain goal, but wisdom teaches that fulfillment is found in the process. If your goal is aligned with your actions, then every day carries meaning, not just the day you reach the finish line. The path itself becomes rewarding because you are living in harmony with your true priorities. You must also be willing to adjust. Life changes. Circumstances shift. What mattered at 20 may not matter at 40. Do not hold on to old goals out of pride or habit. Revisit them often. Ask yourself, does this still reflect what I value most? If the answer is no, realign. True strength is not clinging to outdated desires, but adapting with wisdom. Another important element is removing goals that are not truly yours. Many people chase careers, possessions, or achievements that belong to someone else's expectation. Parents, peers, and culture plant ideas that may not match your nature. If you find yourself pursuing something without joy or meaning, pause and ask why. A system built on false goals will drain you. Only goals born from your own values and desires can sustain daily effort over years. To make this practical, start with 3 steps today. First, write down 3 values you want to live by. Second, define one clear goal for each value in simple, measurable terms. Third, choose one daily action for each goal and commit to it for the next week. This exercise will immediately bring alignment between your inner vision and your outer life. As you repeat this process, it becomes a habit. Your life begins to transform not by bursts of effort, but by steady alignment between goals and actions. Consider this truth. The person you become tomorrow is shaped by the actions you take today. There is no escape from this law. If your daily actions reflect laziness, distraction, or avoidance, then your future will carry the same. If your daily actions reflect focus, discipline, and growth, then your future will rise with them. Defining goals that match your actions is the foundation of shaping destiny. When doubt rises, remind yourself that clarity is power. When your goal is clear and your action reflects it, confusion disappears. You know what to do each day. You are no longer torn between desire and distraction. Each step may feel small, but together they create momentum that builds unshakable confidence. Confidence does not come from promises, it comes from proof. When you see yourself living your goals, you trust yourself. That trust is the root of lasting change. The journey is not without difficulty. There will be days when you want to drift, when comfort pulls harder than discipline. In those moments, remember the Stoic wisdom that the obstacle is not a curse but a teacher. Discomfort is proof you are moving beyond weakness. Each time you honor your goal through action, even when it is hard, you build resilience. That resilience is more valuable than the goal itself, because it becomes part of your character. By now it should be clear that goals are not about imagination, but about alignment. They mean nothing without the weight of daily action. True success is not built on wishful thinking, but on the structure of life you design. Define your goals with precision. Align them with your values. Translate them into actions you can repeat. Adjust them with wisdom as life changes. Respect yourself enough to stay testus. This is the foundation of building systems that carry you to achievement. You hold the power to design a life that reflects who you are at your core. No one else can do it for you. If you refuse, your days will be shaped by the goals of others. But if you choose to define your own goals and match them with daily action, you will create a life of clarity, discipline, and meaning. That life may not always be easy, but it will be yours, and there is no greater victory than living aligned with what matters most. This is the first step in building systems that actually achieve your goals. Without clarity, no system can stand. With clarity, every action gains purpose. Begin today by asking yourself what truly matters and ensure that your next action reflects it. If you can do this, you will not only define your goals, you will live them. Chapter 2. Build simple routines that keep progress steady every day. Progress is never built in one day. It is built in the quiet rhythm of simple routines that you honor every single day without fail. A routine is not about doing everything perfectly, but about creating a steady pattern that keeps you moving forward, no matter how small the steps may seem in the moment. When life becomes overwhelming and goals feel too distant, a simple daily routine is what keeps your foundation strong and unshakable. The power of a routine lies in its ability to make progress automatic. When you build a system of repeated actions, you no longer have to waste energy deciding what to do each day because your path is already set. This prevents hesitation and excuses. Each routine you commit to becomes a structure that protects you from drifting away from your goals. You know what time to wake up, what to focus on first, and how to end your day with purpose. Clarity brings freedom, and this freedom comes from the routines you choose to live by. It is easy to underestimate the impact of a small daily pattern, but these simple actions are what compound into meaningful change. A 10-minute morning routine of exercise builds strength and energy over months. A habit of reading 15 minutes each night expands knowledge far more than bursts of effort once in a while. By repeating these small actions, progress becomes steady and unstoppable. Great results are never the product of occasional effort, but the product of consistent and simple routines repeated over time. When you are building routines, start small enough that success feels guaranteed. If your aim is fitness, do not begin with an extreme schedule that drains your energy and motivation. Start with a short daily walk or a quick bodyweight workout you can finish without stress. When you are consistent with the small routine, you earn the strength to expand it. The secret is not intensity, but consistency. Simplicity is what keeps you from breaking under the weight of ambition. Another key principle is to anchor your routines to natural parts of your day. For example, if you want to develop the habit of journaling, do it right after breakfast or before bed. If you want to meditate, place it right after brushing your teeth in the morning. When you link a new behavior to an action you already do every day, it becomes harder to forget and easier to maintain. These anchors make your routine automatic because it is tied to a moment that already exists in your schedule. Routines also require clear boundaries. You cannot create stability in your life if your days are consumed with constant distraction. Choose fixed times for your most important routines and protect them like an appointment with yourself. If your morning is for exercise, protect that time from phone calls and social media. If your evening is for reflection, turn off screens and give yourself the space to focus. A strong routine is one that is guarded against the noise of the world. Without boundaries, your progress will be fragile and inconsistent. As you practice these routines, you will discover that discipline grows stronger. Discipline is like a muscle. Each time you keep your promise to follow your routine, you reinforce your identity as someone who takes consistent action. This self-trust becomes powerful because you no longer rely on motivation, which fades quickly. Instead, you rely on structure. You may not feel inspired every day, but when your routine is in place, inspiration becomes less important. You simply do the work because it is part of who you are. Your routines should also balance productivity with restoration. Progress is not just about working harder, but about maintaining energy for the long run. Build routines for sleep, nutrition, and rest alongside routines for learning and productivity. A steady life is one that honors both effort and recovery. Without balance, your routines will eventually collapse under exhaustion. By creating patterns of rest alongside action, you create a sustainable system that carries you for years, not just weeks. Reflection is another critical part of a steady routine. At the end of the day, pause for a few minutes and ask yourself, what worked, what could be improved, and what deserves gratitude. This short reflection strengthens awareness and helps you refine your system. Without reflection, routines can become empty repetition. With reflection, routines become tools of growth because you are always learning from them and making them better. It is also wise to keep your routines flexible enough to survive changes in your environment. Life will never flow in a straight line. There will be travel, illness, and unexpected events. If your routines are too rigid, they will break when life shifts. Instead, design them so they can be adjusted without being abandoned. If you miss a full workout, do a shorter one. If you cannot read at night, read in the morning. Flexibility keeps your routines alive while still honoring your commitment to progress. You must be patient when building routines because results will not appear immediately. The first few weeks may feel ordinary or even unproductive, but change is happening quietly beneath the surface. You are shaping discipline and creating momentum. Over time, you will notice how these simple patterns build a stronger body, a sharper mind, and a clearer path to your goals. Patience allows you to stay steady until the benefits reveal themselves. To put this into practice, choose one routine that directly supports your most important goal. Write down exactly when and how you will do it every day. Keep it so simple that you cannot fail. Follow this routine for at least 30 days without breaking the chain. Each day you repeat it, you reinforce the system. When it becomes part of your life, add another simple routine and repeat the process. Slowly you will build a web of small habits that carry you forward without constant struggle. Progress is not about sudden breakthroughs, but about the quiet strength of repetition. Every person who achieves something meaningful has built routines that carried them when motivation disappeared. These routines create order in the chaos of life and remind you daily of what matters most. When you live by routines that match your goals, you are no longer at the mercy of mood or distraction. You are guided by a steady rhythm that keeps you moving forward. Your future will be shaped by the routines you build today. Each action you repeat forms a piece of your identity. If you build routines of growth, you will become someone who grows. If you build routines of discipline, you will become someone who achieves. The power to change your life is not in a single decision, but in the daily structures you choose to honor. Build them with care. Build them with patience, and build them with the certainty that simple routines create steady progress every day. Chapter 3. Track your habits to measure growth and adjust behavior. Progress cannot be guessed. It must be measured to grow effectively. Every action you take has a result, but if you do not track your habits, you will never truly know what is working or what is holding you back. Success is built on awareness and measurement, because only by seeing clearly can you adjust and improve. Tracking your habits is not about judgment or criticism. It is about creating clarity and control over the direction of your life. The first step in tracking habits is to define exactly what you want to monitor. Vague goals produce vague results. If your aim is health, identify the specific behaviors that matter most: exercise, water intake, sleep, nutrition. If your goal is productivity, track time spent on deep work, distractions avoided, or tasks completed. Naming the habits with precision allows you to measure them accurately. Without this clarity, you are operating in the dark, unable to see where your energy is spent or where improvements are needed. Consistency in tracking is essential. A habit cannot be evaluated if it is recorded sporadically. Choose a system you can maintain every day. This could be a notebook, a digital app, or a simple checklist. The key is repetition. Each day you mark what was completed and what was not. You gather data that tells a story about your life. Over time, patterns emerge, revealing which actions produce results and which do not. Tracking habits also reveals accountability. Many people overestimate their commitment or underestimate the effort required. By recording your actions honestly, you create an unshakable mirror reflecting the truth of your behavior. When you see the gaps between intention and action, you can confront them directly without excuses. The mirror does not judge, it simply presents reality, and this reality is the foundation for growth. Once data is collected, evaluation becomes possible. Look for trends. Are there habits you consistently avoid? Are there actions that deliver clear progress? This evaluation is not a moment for shame, but for insight. Adjustments should be intentional. Remove behaviors that drain energy and add actions that produce measurable results. The process of assessment and adjustment ensures your system is always improving rather than stagnant. Small adjustments compound over time. Changing a single habit by 5 minutes or one extra repetition may seem insignificant in the moment, but repeated over months, it produces visible transformation. Tracking allows you to see this compound effect in action. Without recording your habits, the small daily gains remain invisible. Measurement transforms invisible effort into visible evidence of progress, which fuels motivation and persistence. The process also creates awareness of hidden patterns. Many behaviors are unconscious. You may snack mindlessly, scroll endlessly, or procrastinate without noticing. Tracking exposes these hidden patterns because every action must be accounted for. Awareness is the first step to control. Once you see where energy is wasted, you can redirect it toward meaningful actions aligned with your goals. To maintain long-term consistency, make tracking simple. Complexity reduces adherence. Use a clear system with minimal steps to record your habits. If tracking feels like a chore, it will be abandoned. A simple mark, a quick note, or a brief daily review is often enough to capture the necessary information. Simplicity ensures that tracking becomes a habit in itself, reinforcing the system rather than undermining it. Reflection should follow tracking. At the end of each week or month, review your data, identify successes and areas for improvement. Ask, which habits produce the most growth? Which patterns blocked progress? Which actions require reinforcement or elimination? This reflection turns raw data into actionable insight. Without reflection, tracking remains static, but with review it becomes a tool of strategic improvement. Flexibility is also important. Life changes and rigid tracking without adaptation can become counterproductive. Adjust your habits as circumstances shift. If work demands more time or health conditions change, recalibrate your actions without abandoning the system entirely. A tracked habit is powerful, but only when applied intelligently and adjusted according to evolving realities. Tracking creates momentum because visible progress encourages continuation. When you see streaks of completed actions, your mind rewards consistency. This reward is not external recognition, but internal proof that you are capable. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence reinforces action. Tracking transforms the abstract goal into a tangible reality you can witness daily. Additionally, tracking allows for strategic focus. Many people waste effort on low-impact actions. Recording your habits illuminates which behaviors truly move you toward your objectives. It gives you the information necessary to invest energy where it counts most. This prioritization is not guesswork, but a deliberate use of evidence gathered from your own life. Tracking also fosters patience. Growth often happens slowly and subtly. Without measurement, progress may feel absent. By recording every action, you see that even incremental steps accumulate into meaningful improvement. Habits compound. Progress compounds. Tracking makes this visible, allowing you to appreciate the power of consistency over time. To put this into practice, start by selecting 3 habits that matter most to your current goals. Decide how you will record them and choose a consistent time each day to update your tracking. At the end of each week, review your record and identify one adjustment to improve effectiveness. Repeat this cycle indefinitely. The system itself becomes a habit that reinforces your commitment to growth. In conclusion, tracking your habits is the bridge between intention and action. It transforms vague ambition into measurable reality. It creates awareness, accountability, and insight. It allows adjustment, reinforces consistency, and builds momentum. The act of recording is not trivial. It is a declaration that your growth matters and that you are willing to see the truth of your own behavior. Every mark, every note, every reflection brings you closer to mastery over yourself and your life. By tracking habits, you are no longer guessing your progress, but actively shaping it. Your goals cease to be distant possibilities and become tangible realities you can navigate and improve daily. Chapter 4. Create a system that removes distractions from your focus. Focus is the most valuable resource you have, and every distraction steals energy, time, and progress from the life you are trying to build. The modern world is designed to scatter attention with endless notifications, noise, and competing demands, but clarity comes from creating a system that protects your mind and directs it toward what truly matters. Distractions are not just interruptions, they are the enemy of consistent action and the thief of long-term achievement. To achieve meaningful results, you must design your life so that focus becomes automatic rather than optional. The first step in removing distractions is to identify them with precision. Many people underestimate the power of small interruptions, assuming that a 5-minute scroll or a brief check-in does not matter. In reality, each minor disruption fragments concentration and reduces efficiency. Track where your attention drifts throughout the day, and note the moments that pull you away from important work. Understanding the exact sources of distraction is critical, because you cannot fix what you do not see. Once distractions are identified, you must create physical boundaries. Your environment either supports focus or undermines it. Clear surfaces, organized workspaces, and dedicated areas for specific activities reduce friction between intention and action. If your desk is cluttered with irrelevant items, your mind mirrors that clutter. A clean, intentional space signals your brain that certain activities deserve full attention. This physical separation also trains the mind to associate specific areas with concentration and purpose. Digital distractions are equally powerful and require deliberate management. Social media, endless notifications, and unnecessary emails fragment attention constantly. Implement strict limits on these sources during periods of work. Silence notifications, close irrelevant tabs, and schedule time for communication rather than allowing it to dictate your day. Each boundary you place around digital activity reinforces your ability to remain present and deliberate with your energy. Time management is another essential element. Distractions thrive in unstructured schedules. When your day lacks defined periods of focused work, your attention drifts to whatever is easiest or most entertaining. By breaking your day into intentional blocks for specific tasks, you create a framework that guides your energy toward your highest priorities. Allocate the most demanding work to periods when your energy is naturally highest, and guard those blocks as if they were unbreakable appointments. Mental preparation also strengthens resistance to distraction. Start each day with a clear plan of what must be accomplished and why it matters. The brain resists wandering when it knows exactly what it should focus on. Writing down the top 3 priorities for the day and reviewing them before starting work acts as a mental anchor. When temptations arise, you can refer back to this anchor and maintain alignment with your goals. Eliminating distraction is not solely about restriction. It also involves replacing idle behaviors with intentional alternatives. Moments of mindless scrolling or procrastination often fill gaps that lack structure or stimulation. Introduce meaningful activities in these moments, such as journaling, reading, or short focused exercises. By substituting value-driven actions for passive habits, you train your brain to remain engaged in productive behaviors rather than falling into automatic distractions. Accountability mechanisms amplify focus. Share your schedule or goals with a trusted person who can check in on your progress. External accountability increases the perceived cost of distraction, motivating you to remain disciplined. Similarly, public or visible markers of progress, such as checklists or progress boards, reinforce attention by providing constant visual feedback. Each completed task acts as proof of consistent action and strengthens the habit of focus. Energy management is closely linked to distraction control. Fatigue and mental depletion make it easy to succumb to interruptions. Prioritize sleep, nutrition, and short restorative breaks to maintain clarity. When the mind is refreshed, it resists trivial distractions and can sustain deep engagement. A well-managed body creates the mental capacity to pursue long-term goals without being derailed by minor interruptions. Design rituals that signal focus. Specific cues can condition the brain to enter a state of concentration. This could be a morning routine that starts with meditation, a cup of coffee, or a brief review of priorities. Repeating these rituals consistently builds a psychological pattern where the brain automatically prepares for deep work. Over time, entering a state of focus requires less effort because the system itself primes attention. Reflection on distractions is critical. Regularly review where and why your focus broke. Were you tempted by fatigue, boredom, or unplanned communication? Understanding the root cause allows you to address it directly, whether by adjusting your schedule, removing environmental triggers, or improving mental stamina. Without reflection, distractions repeat in cycles and progress stalls. Systems for focus must be flexible to withstand life's unpredictability. Unexpected events can disrupt even the best routines. Rather than abandoning focus entirely, create contingency plans. Have alternative spaces, backup time blocks, or portable tasks that can be completed under different circumstances. Flexibility ensures that focus is maintained even when the ideal conditions are absent. Clarity of purpose magnifies the effectiveness of a focus system. When the reason behind your work is strong, distractions lose power. Constantly remind yourself why the task matters and what long-term outcome it serves. Purpose transforms attention from something reactive into a deliberate tool. Each moment becomes a conscious investment in a meaningful goal rather than an unintentional drift into triviality. Tracking the success of your focus system is essential. Note periods of uninterrupted work and identify when lapses occur. Measure progress in terms of output and quality, not just time spent. This feedback loop allows continuous refinement. A system without monitoring is incomplete because it cannot evolve to meet increasing demands or adapt to new challenges. Finally, discipline grows through repetition and small victories. Each time you resist a distraction and maintain focus, your self-control strengthens. Focus becomes easier with practice. Success compounds when you create an environment, schedule, and mental framework that consistently remove obstacles from your attention. Long-term achievement is not a product of talent or luck, but the cumulative effect of repeated, deliberate focus guided by a system designed to protect it. Creating a system that removes distractions is not an occasional effort, but a lifestyle choice. It requires vigilance, adaptation, and commitment. By systematically identifying distractions, designing physical and digital boundaries, managing energy, establishing rituals, and reflecting on progress, you build an unshakable platform for meaningful work. When distractions no longer dictate your day, every action you take moves you closer to your goals, and every moment becomes an opportunity for measurable progress and mastery. Chapter 5. Break big goals into small, daily, repeatable, consistent steps. Massive goals are achieved not through sudden leaps, but through steady, small steps taken every single day without exception. The mind often resists large ambitions because they appear overwhelming, but breaking them into tiny, repeatable actions transforms fear into progress. A goal that seems distant becomes reachable when you focus on what can be done today, this hour, this moment. Every large objective contains a natural structure that can be divided into manageable pieces. If your goal is to write a book, it does not begin with a finished manuscript, but with daily writing of a single paragraph. If your goal is to improve health, it starts with small, consistent habits, like drinking water, walking a few minutes, or preparing one nutritious meal. The key is to identify the smallest action that, when repeated consistently, moves the needle forward. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. 1 hour of daily effort, repeated for months, creates more progress than occasional bursts of extreme effort. Daily repetition builds momentum, rewires habits, and trains discipline. The mind becomes accustomed to progress, and the body begins to adapt. Over time, the small steps compound into significant achievements that once seemed impossible. Breaking goals into small actions also reduces fear and hesitation. Large objectives trigger doubt and procrastination because the brain perceives them as insurmountable. By dividing a goal into tiny, repeatable steps, each action becomes manageable and immediately doable. Completion of small steps releases a sense of accomplishment, which fuels further action. Motivation is no longer relied upon because progress is experienced continuously rather than in distant promises. Clarity in step definition is critical. Vague actions produce vague results. Specify exactly what needs to be done today. For instance, instead of saying improve fitness, say walk 20 minutes and perform 10 push-ups. Instead of study more, say review one chapter of the course and summarize key points. Precision eliminates uncertainty and guides action with confidence. Track each small step to ensure it is repeated consistently. Momentum grows when you can see progress in measurable terms. Use a simple journal, checklist, or app to record completion. Each checkmark is proof that your system is working. Patterns emerge that reveal what actions produce the most impact. Tracking also identifies gaps, so adjustments can be made without abandoning the overall goal. Focus on creating a sequence that naturally flows. Steps should follow each other logically so that completing one makes the next easier. If you want to improve public speaking, first write short speeches, then practice in front of a mirror, then present to a small audience. Each step builds skill and confidence gradually. This sequencing transforms large goals into a journey of continuous mastery. Accountability accelerates success. Share your daily steps with someone who can monitor progress or report outcomes. Public commitment increases the likelihood that the small actions will be completed consistently. Social reinforcement motivates persistence and strengthens the habit of follow-through. When others witness your daily effort, your system becomes reinforced by external accountability alongside internal discipline. Flexibility should be built into your plan. Life is unpredictable, and some steps may require adjustment. If an obstacle arises, modify the step without discarding it entirely. For example, if a gym visit is impossible, substitute a home workout of similar intensity. Maintaining consistency, even in altered form, preserves the chain of action that ultimately produces results. Celebrate completion of each step. Recognition reinforces behavior and keeps energy high. Small victories provide psychological fuel to continue the system. Do not wait for the entire goal to be achieved to feel accomplishment. Each repeated action is proof of growth and contributes directly to long-term success. Celebrating steps strengthens identity as someone who follows through reliably. Understand that mastery of small steps creates confidence. Repetition builds skill and reduces anxiety associated with large challenges. Over time, what once seemed impossible becomes routine. The accumulation of repeated daily actions reshapes capability and belief. Each small step validates the possibility of reaching the full objective. This approach also allows for early detection of errors. By acting in small increments, it is easier to notice what is effective and what is not. Adjustments can be made without significant loss of progress. Systems built on small steps are resilient because they are continuously tested, refined, and reinforced in manageable doses. Energy management should be considered when planning daily steps. Assign the most demanding tasks to periods of highest focus and leave less critical actions for lower energy times. Proper alignment of energy with action ensures completion without burnout. This attention to timing increases efficiency and maintains sustainability over the long term. Visualization of progress amplifies commitment. Regularly review the sequence of completed steps and imagine the cumulative impact over weeks and months. Seeing the big goal built piece by piece strengthens motivation and encourages consistent adherence. The goal becomes tangible as each step adds to the emerging reality. Start each day by identifying the 1 or 2 most important repeatable actions that directly contribute to your ultimate objective. Do not overload the day with excessive steps. Focus on quality, not quantity. Completing meaningful actions consistently will always produce greater results than attempting too much at once. Simplicity ensures that the system is sustainable. Over time, the system of small steps becomes automatic. Habit formation reduces reliance on willpower and makes progress natural. The mind begins to operate in alignment with the goal, performing necessary actions almost without conscious effort. Systems that integrate into daily life produce results even on days when motivation is low or circumstances are challenging. Review and refine the steps regularly. Some actions may become less effective as you grow, while new ones may become necessary. Continuous adjustment ensures the system remains aligned with the evolving objective. Without refinement, routines stagnate and momentum slows. A dynamic system of small steps sustains growth and maintains relevance. The cumulative power of repeated small actions cannot be underestimated. Consistent effort, multiplied over weeks and months, transforms ambition into achievement. Large goals are no longer intimidating when they are divided into repeatable, manageable steps that you can complete every day. Each step moves you closer. Each day compounds your progress, and each repetition reinforces your ability to achieve. Success becomes inevitable when big goals are translated into structured daily actions that are simple, consistent, and measurable. By taking small steps daily, tracking completion, maintaining accountability, and adjusting as necessary, you build a resilient system that transforms intention into reality. The path to achievement is paved not with rare bursts of effort, but with steady, deliberate, and repeated actions that eventually produce extraordinary results. Chapter 6. Design your environment to support growth and reduce stress. Your surroundings shape your thoughts, your energy, and ultimately the results you achieve in life. Every object, sound, and visual cue in your environment either lifts you toward growth or drags you into stress and distraction. If you want to achieve more, think of your environment not as neutral background, but as a powerful tool that can support your goals and strengthen your focus. The first step is to evaluate your physical space. Look at where you live, work, and spend the most time. Identify what energizes you and what drains you. Clutter, disorganization, and chaos are not just annoyances, they fragment attention and increase mental load. Removing unnecessary items creates room for clarity and allows your mind to focus on what truly matters. Every piece of clutter removed is one less distraction, pulling you away from growth. Lighting and color play a subtle yet significant role in mood and productivity. Bright, natural light enhances alertness and motivation, while dim or harsh lighting can induce fatigue. Colors affect energy and emotions. Neutral tones create calm, while certain shades can energize or soothe, depending on the task. Adjusting your space to align with the desired mental state strengthens your ability to engage fully with important work. Sound is another critical factor. Noise, whether external traffic or internal chatter, interrupts concentration. Consider creating quiet zones or using tools like noise-canceling headphones, ambient music, or white noise to maintain focus. A carefully controlled auditory environment supports consistent performance and reduces unnecessary mental stress, allowing energy to be directed toward meaningful action. Technology can be a double-edged sword. Devices provide power and efficiency, but also distractions. Intentionally place devices out of immediate reach during focused work periods. Disable non-essential notifications and establish clear boundaries for digital interactions. Your devices should serve your goals rather than hijack your attention. When technology is managed, it becomes a tool of progress rather than a source of stress. Everyday items and habits in your space also influence mental clarity. Simple things such as organizing your desk, having water readily available, or keeping essential tools at hand streamline action. Small adjustments like these remove friction, reduce decision fatigue, and make it easier to maintain momentum throughout the day. The environment should anticipate your needs, making productive behavior the default choice. Consider social and relational elements in your environment. People around you influence your mindset and energy. Seek relationships that support growth, constructive feedback and encouragement. Limit exposure to negativity, constant criticism, or excessive distractions from others. Your social environment can either amplify your focus or erode it, and deliberate choices in this area protect your energy for what truly matters. Psychological cues in your surroundings also matter. Display reminders of your goals, accomplishments, or inspiring messages where they are visible. Visual reinforcement strengthens motivation and keeps priorities present in the mind. Similarly, eliminating visual triggers for negative habits, such as junk food in the kitchen or unproductive screens in the work area, prevents unconscious choices that undermine progress. Time management within the environment is crucial. Arrange your space so that high-priority tasks are easy to access, while low-value activities require more effort. This reduces the chance of defaulting to unproductive behavior. For example, place workout clothes and equipment where you see them to encourage daily exercise while moving distractions out of immediate reach. Environment can automate better choices when designed intentionally. Routines and systems within the environment enhance sustainability. Create specific zones or setups for particular tasks. A quiet space for focused work, a comfortable area for reading or reflection, and a practical layout for physical exercise. Associating different spaces with distinct activities trains the brain to switch efficiently between mental states, reducing stress and increasing productivity. Sensory input should be optimized for performance. Pleasant smells, comfortable seating, and appropriate temperature all affect energy and concentration. Attention to these details is not indulgence, but strategy. A comfortable environment allows longer periods of engagement with tasks without mental fatigue or resistance, increasing efficiency and satisfaction. Habit stacking works well when the environment reinforces desired behaviors. Place cues for positive habits where they cannot be missed. A water bottle on your desk reminds you to hydrate. Journals on your bedside table remind you to reflect. These environmental triggers remove reliance on memory and willpower, embedding progress into your surroundings and making growth easier to maintain consistently. Stress reduction is directly linked to environmental design. Spaces that are chaotic, cramped, or uncomfortable provoke tension, leading to reduced focus and lower productivity. Calm, organized, and intentional spaces reduce anxiety and create mental room to solve problems, make decisions, and take consistent action. The environment can either be a stress amplifier or a foundation for calm, resilient performance. Review and adjust your environment regularly. Life changes, priorities shift, and what supported you yesterday may hinder you today. Periodically assess whether your surroundings still align with your growth goals. Remove what no longer serves progress and introduce elements that support evolving ambitions. Continuous refinement ensures that the environment remains an active tool for improvement rather than a static backdrop. Every element in your space should answer one question: does this help me become the person I want to be today? If the answer is no, it either needs to be removed, adjusted, or replaced. By curating your surroundings with intention, you remove friction, reduce stress, and increase the likelihood of consistent action toward your goals. The smallest changes can produce enormous results. Organizing a desk, rearranging a room, limiting noise, or placing key items within reach may seem trivial, but the cumulative effect over weeks and months transforms how you operate daily. Each improvement in the environment compounds, making productive behavior easier, natural, and automatic. Your environment is a reflection of your priorities and a tool for your growth. By designing spaces that encourage focus, minimize distractions, and support healthy habits, you create conditions where success is not a battle, but the natural outcome of alignment. The clarity and energy provided by a well-structured environment allow every decision to be more deliberate, every action more efficient, and every day more productive. Intentional environmental design is not a one-time effort, but a continuous practice. By constantly adjusting your surroundings to support growth and reduce stress, you reinforce positive habits, protect your energy, and create a life where progress is inevitable. When your environment is aligned with your goals, each day becomes an opportunity to advance with clarity, confidence, and calm focus. Chapter 7. Prioritize tasks that move you closer to real progress. True progress is not about being busy, it is about doing the right work that moves you closer to your goals. Most people fill their days with tasks that create the illusion of achievement, while leaving critical objectives neglected. To reach meaningful results, you must learn to identify which actions have the highest impact and devote your energy to them consistently. Prioritization is not optional. It is the skill that separates real achievers from those who simply stay busy. Start by clarifying your most important outcomes. Without a clear understanding of what truly matters, every task becomes equally tempting and equally distracting. Identify the top few objectives that will generate the most progress in your life or work. These are not minor details or low-value tasks, but the actions that directly influence your growth, income, health, or relationships. Knowing what to prioritize allows your focus to be precise and deliberate. Once your key outcomes are defined, evaluate your daily tasks against them. Ask yourself, which actions contribute most toward these objectives, and which are merely urgent or convenient? Many tasks feel necessary, but have little long-term impact. By consciously selecting high-value activities, you ensure that your effort produces tangible results rather than wasted motion. Time blocking is a powerful technique for maintaining priority. Allocate dedicated periods to focus solely on high-impact tasks without interruption. Protect this time from meetings, notifications, and low-value obligations. Your highest priorities require uninterrupted attention because even small distractions can fragment focus and reduce effectiveness. Treat this time as non-negotiable, as if your future depends on it, because it does. Learn to defer or delegate lower-value tasks. Many actions consume energy without moving goals forward. Administrative work, minor errands, or low-priority communications can often be postponed, minimized, or entrusted to others. Freeing yourself from these obligations allows energy and attention to be directed toward what truly matters. Prioritization is not just about doing more of the right work, but also doing less of the wrong work. Focus on sequential completion rather than multitasking. Attempting several tasks at once divides energy and slows progress. Deep engagement in one high-priority task produces far more results than fragmented attention. Allocate time to complete a single meaningful activity fully before moving on to the next. This approach ensures that each step delivers maximum impact and reduces the mental strain caused by scattered focus. Use the power of ranking to clarify priorities. Assign numeric or categorical importance to each task based on its potential to drive results. High-ranking tasks should dominate your schedule, while low-ranking tasks are handled later or eliminated. This systematic evaluation removes ambiguity and replaces reactive decision-making with deliberate planning. You act with intent rather than drifting from one task to the next. Regularly review progress to maintain alignment. Daily or weekly reflection allows you to see whether your actions are producing the desired outcomes. Adjust priorities based on what is working and what is not. Goals evolve and circumstances shift, so maintaining flexible but disciplined prioritization ensures that effort continues to align with meaningful results. Energy management is an essential component of prioritization. Match the difficulty of tasks to your natural peaks of focus and stamina. Handle the most demanding and high-value work during periods of high energy. Save routine or lower-impact activities for times when focus is lower. Aligning energy with priority maximizes efficiency and reduces fatigue, allowing sustained progress over time. Avoid distractions that masquerade as priorities. Email, social media, and other reactive demands often feel urgent but rarely drive real achievement. Create boundaries that protect time for high-value tasks. When a new request arises, assess its importance relative to your current priorities. Declining or postponing low-impact interruptions preserves focus and prevents wasted energy. Set clear criteria for completion. Prioritization is effective only when progress can be measured. Define what success looks like for each high-value task. Knowing exactly what constitutes completion allows you to focus on results rather than mere activity. This clarity ensures that every effort contributes directly to forward movement rather than leaving outcomes ambiguous. Batching similar tasks can increase efficiency without compromising priority. Group activities that require similar focus, tools, or environment together to reduce mental switching costs. This approach allows more attention to be directed toward meaningful work rather than fragmented efforts spread throughout the day. Strategic batching amplifies productivity and ensures high-value tasks are not neglected. Leverage the 80-20 principle. Identify the 20% of tasks that generate 80% of your results. Concentrate your energy on these critical actions and reduce time spent on the remaining 80% that contribute minimally. Prioritization guided by impact ensures that effort produces measurable growth and prevents wasted energy on low-value activity. Prepare for the day by reviewing priorities in the morning. Start each day with a clear understanding of the most important tasks to complete. Visualize completion and commit to executing them before addressing lesser tasks. Beginning with intentional focus sets the tone for the day and prevents distraction from reactive demands. Eliminate decision fatigue by standardizing routine prioritization methods. Use consistent criteria to evaluate tasks quickly and objectively. When prioritization becomes habitual, attention is freed for execution rather than analysis. This consistency reduces mental strain and ensures high-value work remains at the center of daily effort. Recognize that saying no is a critical skill. Protecting time for meaningful tasks requires declining requests or opportunities that do not align with priorities. Saying no is not avoidance, but a deliberate act of focus. Each refusal is a reinforcement of commitment to what truly matters and a safeguard for sustained progress. Use visual cues to reinforce priorities. Keep reminders of key objectives visible in your workspace or digital environment. Visual reinforcement keeps attention anchored on high-value tasks and prevents drift toward trivial activities. These cues act as constant guides, maintaining focus on what produces real results. Prioritization is strengthened by accountability. Share your high-priority tasks with someone who can monitor or check in on progress. External accountability motivates adherence to planned priorities and ensures follow-through. Reporting outcomes or commitments reinforces focus and drives consistent execution. Understand that not all productive-looking tasks contribute equally to long-term success. Busy work may feel satisfying in the short term, but does not move the needle. Evaluate each activity based on tangible impact rather than perceived importance. Direct effort toward tasks that generate measurable results and eliminate distractions that consume time without creating value. The habit of prioritizing transforms how you live, work, and achieve. Each choice becomes deliberate and guided by meaningful criteria rather than urgency or convenience. Daily actions align with long-term objectives, producing consistent progress and measurable results. Prioritization is the backbone of achievement because it ensures that effort is applied where it matters most. Chapter 8. Replace bad habits with positive ones through daily repetition. Every habit in your life is a choice repeated over time, and the power to change lies entirely in your hands. Bad habits are not permanent flaws. They are learned patterns that can be unlearned and replaced with behaviors that support growth and success. Transformation begins with daily repetition because consistent action rewires the mind, shapes character, and produces tangible results over time. The first step is to identify the habits that are holding you back. Be precise and honest in this assessment. Avoid vague notions like "I want to be healthier" or "I want to stop procrastinating." Instead, pinpoint specific actions such as eating late-night snacks, checking your phone excessively, or delaying tasks until the last minute. Clarity is essential because you cannot replace what you do not recognize. Once bad habits are identified, choose positive behaviors to replace them. Replacement must be intentional and directly counter the negative pattern. For instance, instead of scrolling aimlessly on social media, commit to reading a chapter of a book. Replace emotional eating with mindful hydration or a short walk. Positive habits should fulfill the same need that the bad habit satisfies, but in a constructive way. Daily repetition is the engine of habit change. One-time effort is insufficient because the brain relies on patterns, not intentions. Each day you perform the positive habit, neural pathways are strengthened, and the old behavior gradually loses its grip. The key is consistency, not intensity. Even small actions, repeated without fail, create lasting transformation over time. Start with micro habits. Attempting drastic changes can provoke resistance and failure. Begin with manageable steps that are easy to accomplish, ensuring early success and building confidence. For example, if your goal is to exercise regularly, start with 5 minutes of movement each day rather than forcing an hour-long session immediately. Small wins reinforce belief in your ability to change and make the new behavior sustainable. Environment plays a critical role in habit replacement. Remove cues that trigger bad habits and introduce cues that encourage positive ones. If unhealthy snacks are readily available, they will tempt you despite intention. Replace them with healthier options placed in visible locations. Arrange your space so that desired behaviors are the easiest and most natural choice. This subtle adjustment dramatically increases success rates. Track your progress daily. Recording completion of new habits provides feedback, reinforces motivation, and creates accountability. A simple checklist, journal, or digital app is sufficient. Each tick mark is proof of action, and reinforces identity as someone committed to improvement. Tracking also allows you to identify patterns of relapse and adjust strategies before they derail progress. Mindset is equally important. Accept that habit change requires patience and persistence. Relapse may occur, but it is part of the learning process rather than a permanent failure. View every day as an opportunity to strengthen new behaviors. The repetition itself becomes a practice of resilience, reinforcing self-discipline and control over your actions. Anchor new habits to existing routines. Habit stacking creates automaticity by linking a new positive action to an established behavior. For example, after brushing your teeth in the morning, perform 5 minutes of stretching. By connecting the new habit to an existing cue, it becomes easier to remember and more likely to occur consistently. Over time, the new behavior integrates seamlessly into daily life. Accountability amplifies habit transformation. Share your intentions with someone who can monitor your progress or check in regularly. Public commitment increases the likelihood of adherence and provides external reinforcement when motivation wanes. Knowing that someone else is observing your effort makes it easier to maintain consistency, particularly in challenging moments. Rewarding positive behavior accelerates adoption. Identify immediate or delayed rewards for completing new habits. Even subtle reinforcement, such as acknowledging the action or experiencing satisfaction from completion, strengthens neural connections associated with the behavior. Positive reinforcement motivates continuation and helps solidify the habit in your daily routine. Replace negative self-talk with constructive focus. Criticism or guilt about past failures undermines progress. Instead, focus on the action you can take today. Positive repetition is built on forward-looking commitment rather than dwelling on mistakes. Each day offers a fresh opportunity to practice, strengthen and reinforce the new pattern. Visualization enhances the effectiveness of habit replacement. Imagine yourself performing the positive behavior with ease and experiencing the benefits it brings. Mental rehearsal prepares the brain to act, reduces resistance, and increases confidence in your ability to sustain the habit. Visualization combined with daily repetition accelerates integration into your routine. Be strategic about timing. New habits are easier to establish when performed at consistent times. Scheduling the same action daily reduces friction and builds automaticity. Consistency in timing reinforces neural pathways and gradually shifts the behavior from deliberate effort to automatic routine. Eliminate excuses before they arise. Identify common obstacles and plan for them in advance. If a habit is disrupted by travel, social commitments, or fatigue, have alternative methods ready. Adaptability ensures the system of replacement remains intact, even under challenging circumstances. Preparation removes barriers and sustains momentum. Reflect on your growth regularly. Review the habits you have successfully replaced and the impact on your life. Recognition of progress strengthens motivation and reinforces identity as someone capable of change. Reflection also highlights areas that require additional attention, ensuring continuous improvement. Persistence is non-negotiable. The most successful habit transformations occur when repetition is maintained, despite obstacles, boredom, or resistance. Each consecutive day builds strength in the new behavior and diminishes the hold of the old habit. The cumulative effect of daily action creates irreversible change over time. Combine multiple small habits to compound growth. Once a single positive habit is consistent, introduce additional behaviors gradually. Layering habits incrementally prevents overwhelm and creates a cascading effect of improvement. Over time, multiple positive actions performed daily reshape behavior, mindset, and results. Commitment to habit replacement is ultimately a commitment to self-mastery. Each day you practice intentional behavior, you reinforce control over your choices, strengthen discipline, and enhance your ability to navigate life deliberately. The process transforms not only actions, but identity, creating a person aligned with goals, values, and long-term growth. Chapter 9. Use accountability partners to stay committed to your systems. Commitment grows stronger when you are accountable to someone who can witness your actions and hold you responsible for follow-through. Systems fail, not because they are flawed, but because humans are prone to distraction, hesitation, and inconsistent effort. Having an accountability partner transforms intention into action, provides motivation when discipline wavers, and creates a structure that reinforces consistency in your daily routines. The first step is choosing the right accountability partner. This person should be reliable, trustworthy, and genuinely interested in supporting your growth. They do not need to be experts in your field, but they must care enough to check in regularly, provide honest feedback, and challenge you when you make excuses. The quality of the partner directly impacts the effectiveness of the accountability system. Define clear expectations from the start. Both parties should agree on the frequency, method, and purpose of accountability check-ins. Will it be daily messages, weekly meetings, or shared progress trackers? Clarity ensures the partnership functions efficiently and prevents misunderstandings that could weaken the system. Structured agreements increase the likelihood of follow-through and make the accountability relationship actionable rather than vague. Transparency is critical. Share your goals, progress, challenges, and obstacles openly with your partner. Hiding difficulties or failures undermines the purpose of accountability. Honest communication strengthens trust and allows your partner to provide targeted support, advice, or encouragement. The more transparent you are, the more effective the system becomes in guiding consistent action. Set measurable milestones to track progress. Accountability works best when actions can be evaluated objectively. Establish specific metrics, such as number of tasks completed, hours invested, or habits maintained. Tangible markers make it easier for both parties to monitor success and identify areas that need improvement. Metrics transform abstract intentions into concrete performance indicators. Use the power of public commitment to enhance accountability. When someone else is aware of your goals and timelines, the perceived cost of failure increases. Social pressure, when applied positively, motivates consistency and reduces procrastination. Accountability partners act as a bridge between personal commitment and external reinforcement, making adherence to systems more likely. Encourage reciprocal accountability. The most effective partnerships involve mutual responsibility. Both partners support each other, share progress, and provide constructive feedback. Reciprocity creates balance and ensures that accountability is not one-sided. Each person benefits from monitoring and guidance, creating a shared culture of discipline and growth. Schedule regular reflection and evaluation sessions. Use these moments to discuss achievements, setbacks, and strategies for improvement. Reflection reinforces learning and ensures that the systems in place remain relevant and effective. Continuous evaluation allows the partnership to adapt as goals evolve and new challenges emerge. Leverage technology to streamline accountability. Shared apps, spreadsheets, or communication tools make it easy to track progress, provide updates, and maintain consistent interaction. Digital tools reduce friction, maintain transparency, and provide a permanent record of actions and results. This structure increases reliability and strengthens the system's impact. Address obstacles proactively. Life is unpredictable, and there will be days when motivation falters or challenges arise. An accountability partner can help anticipate potential barriers, brainstorm solutions, and maintain focus on the system. Preparing for setbacks ensures continuity and reinforces resilience, rather than allowing disruptions to derail progress. Celebrate milestones together. Recognition of achievements reinforces commitment and provides psychological fuel to continue. Small victories, acknowledged by a partner, strengthen motivation and build confidence. Celebration is not indulgence, but a tool for reinforcing patterns of consistent action and maintaining high levels of engagement over time. Communication style matters. Feedback should be constructive, encouraging, and solution-oriented, rather than critical or judgmental. The goal is to motivate consistent action, not to create guilt or fear. Positive reinforcement, combined with honest critique, fosters an environment where accountability enhances growth without generating stress or resentment. Accountability partners provide perspective. When your focus narrows or self-doubt arises, they can offer clarity, remind you of long-term objectives, and challenge limiting beliefs. External insight complements internal discipline, helping you navigate obstacles more effectively. The right partner helps maintain alignment with your goals even when internal motivation fluctuates. Consistency is built through small daily actions, reinforced by the partnership. Even brief updates or check-ins are more powerful than sporadic, intense discussions. Daily interaction ensures that momentum is maintained and reinforces habits that support goal achievement. Regularity in accountability translates into reliability in execution. Flexibility within the system is essential. Circumstances change, priorities shift, and progress may not always follow a linear path. An effective accountability partnership allows adjustments without compromising core principles. Adaptability ensures the system remains practical and sustainable while maintaining the focus on results. Recognize the psychological impact of accountability. Knowing someone is aware of your actions increases commitment and reduces the likelihood of procrastination. This awareness strengthens discipline and embeds responsibility into your daily routine. Accountability partners act as both motivators and mirrors, reflecting whether your actions align with stated intentions. Document progress visually. Shared charts, logs, or journals provide tangible evidence of effort and growth. Seeing accomplishments mapped over time reinforces belief in the system and sustains motivation. Visualization of progress keeps attention anchored on results rather than intentions alone. Choose partners whose values align with your own. Differences in priorities, ethics, or commitment levels can create friction and reduce the effectiveness of the accountability system. Shared principles ensure that feedback, expectations, and support remain consistent and relevant to the goals being pursued. Use accountability to reinforce identity. Regular reporting and reflection cultivate the sense of being someone who follows through, takes responsibility, and maintains systems consistently. This identity becomes self-reinforcing as actions align with the self-image, strengthening long-term commitment to growth. Finally, understand that accountability is a multiplier for effort. Systems on their own can fail if left to inconsistent personal discipline, but pairing structured systems with an engaged accountability partner dramatically increases the likelihood of sustained action, consistent progress, and real results. Every conversation, check-in, and shared milestone compounds to create a powerful momentum that propels goals from intention into reality. Chapter 10. Review your progress weekly and reset your action plan. Progress is only real when it is measured, reflected upon, and used to guide deliberate action toward improvement. Weekly review is the bridge between intention and achievement, turning scattered effort into a coherent plan that drives consistent results. Without regular evaluation, even the best systems lose direction, and small missteps accumulate into stagnation. The first step in reviewing progress is to gather clear data on what has been accomplished. Look at the tasks completed, habits maintained, and milestones reached over the past week. Objectivity is essential. Record facts without judgment or excuses. This creates an accurate picture of performance, revealing patterns of success and areas needing adjustment. Identify wins and breakthroughs first. Recognizing accomplishments reinforces motivation and validates the system in place. Celebrate not just large milestones, but smaller achievements that indicate forward momentum. Acknowledging these victories strengthens confidence and establishes the habit of consistent reflection and appreciation for progress. Next, examine what did not go according to plan. Honest evaluation of failures or missed actions is critical to growth. Understand the causes. Were they due to lack of planning, insufficient focus, external obstacles, or unrealistic expectations? Dissecting setbacks provides actionable insights rather than discouragement, allowing you to redesign your approach with clarity and precision. Compare actual performance against intended goals. Assess whether the steps taken moved you closer to your objectives or merely consumed time. This contrast highlights gaps between effort and impact, revealing where priorities may need realignment. Knowing the difference between activity and progress ensures that effort is always meaningful and intentional. Adjust your action plan based on insights gained. Remove or modify strategies that are ineffective and reinforce those that produce results. Updating your plan is not a sign of failure, but a demonstration of adaptability and strategic thinking. Weekly adjustments keep your system dynamic, aligned with evolving circumstances, and continuously optimized for growth. Break the upcoming week into clear, actionable steps. Translate lessons from reflection into specific tasks that directly support your objectives. Define what needs to be done, when it will be done, and how success will be measured. Concrete planning prevents ambiguity, reduces decision fatigue, and increases the likelihood of execution. Prioritize tasks for the week based on impact. Identify high-value actions that generate the most progress and place them at the forefront of your schedule. Allocate sufficient time and energy to these priorities while minimizing distractions and low-impact activities. Intentional prioritization ensures that effort produces meaningful results rather than superficial busyness. Evaluate your habits during the weekly review. Determine which routines supported progress and which created friction or wasted energy. Reinforce positive habits by increasing consistency and visibility, while modifying or replacing negative patterns with actionable alternatives. Reflection on habits strengthens daily systems and embeds discipline into your life. Consider resources and constraints as part of the review. Examine whether time, energy, or tools were allocated effectively. Identify bottlenecks or inefficiencies that hindered performance and develop strategies to overcome them. Awareness of constraints allows for realistic planning and prevents repeated obstacles from stalling progress. Seek accountability feedback, if possible. Sharing insights from your weekly review with a trusted partner, mentor, or peer adds perspective and reinforces commitment. External observation can reveal blind spots, suggest improvements, and provide encouragement. Accountability amplifies the impact of reflection and ensures that adjustments are implemented consistently. Document the weekly review in writing. Journals, checklists, or digital logs provide tangible evidence of effort, growth, and areas needing attention. Written records allow you to track trends over time, analyze long-term progress, and celebrate accumulated achievements. The act of writing consolidates insights and reinforces memory, making future planning more precise. Incorporate learning from challenges into the next week's strategy. Convert obstacles into lessons that strengthen resilience and refine your approach. Anticipating potential difficulties allows you to prepare solutions in advance, maintaining momentum and minimizing setbacks. Continuous learning transforms weekly reflection into a system for ongoing improvement. Allocate time for mental clarity during the review. Step back from immediate tasks and view progress from a broader perspective. Understanding the bigger picture aligns daily actions with long-term goals and ensures that your weekly plan supports overall growth rather than short-term convenience. Strategic reflection guides intentional action. Focus on energy management in the weekly plan. Recognize periods of high and low productivity during the past week and adjust task allocation accordingly, placing demanding tasks during peak energy times and scheduling recovery or routine work during lower energy periods optimizes performance. Attention to energy ensures sustainable progress without burnout. Set measurable objectives for the upcoming week. Clear targets provide direction, reduce ambiguity, and create motivation through visible outcomes. Each objective should be specific, attainable, and directly linked to larger goals. Measurement ensures accountability and allows for precise evaluation during the next review. Reflect on mindset and attitude. Identify moments where discipline, focus, or resilience were challenged, and assess how they were handled. Recognizing patterns in thought and emotion allows intentional adjustments to mental habits, reinforcing self-mastery and consistency. Mental reflection complements practical evaluation and ensures holistic improvement. Integrate flexibility into the plan. Life is unpredictable, and even the best-laid plans may require adaptation. Build contingency strategies, buffer time for unexpected events, and maintain focus on outcomes rather than rigid processes. Flexibility preserves momentum while accommodating reality, ensuring continued progress despite external fluctuations. Use the review to reinforce motivation. Remind yourself why your goals matter and how each weekly action contributes to larger ambitions. Connection to purpose energizes effort, strengthens commitment, and sustains daily action. Motivation combined with reflection creates clarity, drive, and resilience. End the weekly review with a clear commitment to action. Define exactly what will be executed in the coming week and hold yourself accountable for completing each step. This final declaration transforms reflection into forward-moving energy, bridging insight with implementation. Each week becomes a cycle of evaluation, adaptation, and deliberate execution, creating a system that drives continuous growth. Chapter 11. Build resilience by practicing discipline even on hard days. Discipline is the foundation of resilience, and the true measure of strength lies in acting even when every part of you resists. Hard days are inevitable, yet it is during these moments that your character is forged and your systems are tested. Showing up consistently, even when motivation is low, is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who give in to circumstances. Start by recognizing that discomfort and resistance are part of growth. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to strengthen mental toughness. Hard days test focus, energy, and determination, but embracing them rather than avoiding them reinforces the neural patterns that create lasting discipline. The mind learns to perform under stress only through repeated exposure to controlled difficulty. Preparation is key. Anticipate tough days by having clear routines and fallback strategies. When energy is low or distractions are abundant, systems that are pre-designed allow action to continue without relying solely on willpower. Preparation reduces decision fatigue and ensures that even under pressure, productive behaviors remain intact. Small, consistent actions build resilience faster than sporadic bursts of effort. Even a brief but deliberate commitment on a challenging day reinforces identity as someone who does what needs to be done. 5 focused minutes of work, a short workout, or a single task completed builds momentum. The cumulative effect of consistent action strengthens discipline and makes subsequent challenges easier to navigate. Focus on process over outcome. On difficult days, the goal is not perfection, but maintaining the system. Completing the process, even partially, is better than inaction. Discipline is cultivated through repeated engagement with the routines and behaviors that support long-term objectives, not through occasional bursts of excellence. Use mental reframing to maintain perspective. Hard days are not failures, they are part of the journey. Viewing adversity as an opportunity for growth, rather than a barrier, strengthens resolve and reduces emotional resistance. Each moment of struggle becomes a training ground for patience, persistence, and self-control. Commit to your systems with rigidity while remaining adaptable in execution. When obstacles arise, modify methods but not principles. Flexibility in tactics allows continuation of effort, even when circumstances are unfavorable, ensuring progress is maintained despite external challenges. The combination of steadfast commitment and adaptive strategy builds robust resilience. Break tasks into micro steps on hard days. Large objectives can feel overwhelming when energy is low. By focusing on one small actionable step at a time, resistance decreases and momentum builds. Completing even minimal progress reinforces self-efficacy and maintains alignment with goals. Discipline is maintained not by avoiding struggle but by strategically managing effort. Accountability is a powerful tool for resilience. Sharing intentions with a partner or mentor provides external reinforcement on days when internal drive falters. Knowing someone is observing progress or expecting action adds pressure to follow through, turning intention into behavior even under difficult circumstances. Routine anchors stability during adversity. Habits, once established, continue to operate even when motivation drops. The more ingrained your routines, the less effort is required to maintain action on hard days. Systems act as a safety net, catching you when resolve alone is insufficient. Investing in strong routines reduces reliance on fluctuating emotional states. Celebrate persistence over performance. On days when output is limited by circumstance, recognize the act of showing up and engaging. Completing a task under difficult conditions demonstrates strength, builds confidence, and reinforces identity as someone who endures. Recognition of effort rather than just results sustains commitment and reinforces discipline. Physical and mental energy management supports resilience. Ensure adequate rest, nutrition, and movement to maintain baseline capability. Hard days often challenge energy levels, so proactively managing these factors reduces the likelihood of collapse. When the body and mind are equipped, the probability of maintaining discipline increases substantially. Visualization prepares you for struggle. Mentally rehearsing scenarios where focus or effort may be challenged reduces resistance when they occur. Anticipating difficulty strengthens the ability to act decisively despite discomfort. Mental rehearsal complements actual practice, reinforcing resilience before adversity arises. Mindset must be grounded in responsibility. Accept that your actions are within your control regardless of external conditions. Excuses diminish power, while ownership strengthens it. Even on the toughest days, Deliberate choice to act reinforces autonomy, self-mastery, and enduring discipline. Track progress to see cumulative effect. Recording actions taken on hard days provides evidence that effort persists even under adversity. Documentation reinforces commitment, maintains perspective, and highlights growth over time. Visibility of persistence strengthens motivation and sustains adherence to systems through difficult periods. Incremental improvement matters more than dramatic leaps. Discipline is reinforced through repeated, steady engagement rather than rare episodes of extreme effort. Consistent action, even small, strengthens neural patterns that govern focus, determination, and resilience. Hard days test this principle, and persistence during these times solidifies long-term capability. Remove temptations and friction that increase likelihood of avoidance. Hard days magnify susceptibility to distraction or procrastination. By simplifying environments and reducing unnecessary choices, you make the desired action easier to perform, lowering resistance and preserving discipline when energy is limited. Internal dialogue shapes endurance. Speak to yourself with firmness and encouragement rather than doubt or frustration. Affirmation of your capacity to act despite difficulty strengthens resolve and supports sustained effort. Positive internal reinforcement during hard days creates psychological resilience alongside physical action. Focus on controllable elements. Hard days often bring uncontrollable challenges, but concentrating on what you can influence maintains effectiveness. Discipline is exercised through deliberate action in areas where control exists, preventing paralysis from external factors and reinforcing consistent execution. Finally, recognize that resilience and discipline compound over time. Every moment of adherence to your systems on a difficult day reinforces identity, strengthens habit, and increases confidence. By choosing action over avoidance repeatedly, you create a life where perseverance becomes natural, challenges are navigable, and progress continues steadily, even in the face of adversity. Chapter 12. Focus on consistency over intensity to build lasting success. Consistency is the engine that turns small actions into extraordinary results, and it outweighs bursts of intensity every single time. Lasting success is built not on occasional effort, but on steady, deliberate practice repeated day after day. Those who achieve their goals understand that showing up consistently, even in modest ways, compounds over time into remarkable outcomes. Begin by defining actions that can be performed reliably. Focus on routines that are manageable within your daily life, rather than extreme efforts that cannot be maintained. Intense bursts of work may feel impressive, but without repetition, their impact diminishes quickly. Consistency ensures that progress is continuous and sustainable. Set realistic expectations for daily engagement. Avoid the trap of overcommitting or attempting extraordinary effort immediately. Start with achievable goals that you can repeat without strain. The key is to maintain momentum over weeks and months, which produces results far greater than sporadic intensity. Develop systems that reinforce daily execution. When routines are built into your environment and schedule, consistent action becomes automatic rather than dependent on fleeting motivation. Structured systems remove ambiguity and create reliable pathways to perform the desired behaviors repeatedly. The easier a system is to follow, the more consistent your effort will be. Prioritize frequency over volume. Completing a task daily in small increments is more effective than completing it irregularly with maximum effort. This approach strengthens habits, reduces burnout, and allows you to maintain focus over long periods. Incremental progress repeated consistently produces outcomes that exceed occasional overexertion. Track performance over time to reinforce consistency. Recording daily completion provides evidence of action and accountability. Tracking highlights patterns, identifies lapses, and offers motivation by showing cumulative results. Awareness of steady progress encourages continuation and discourages reliance on short-term intensity. Anchor habits to existing routines. Pairing new behaviors with established daily actions increases likelihood of repetition. When actions are tied to cues already present in life, performing them consistently requires less effort and becomes part of natural rhythm. Habit stacking ensures the desired actions persist over time without conscious struggle. Emphasize quality within consistency. Steady effort does not mean careless repetition. Each action should maintain sufficient attention and focus to produce meaningful results. Consistent practice of high-quality behaviors compounds more effectively than inconsistent efforts with extreme intensity. Use micro-goals to maintain momentum. Break larger objectives into small, repeatable steps that can be performed daily. These steps reinforce consistency, prevent overwhelm, and create tangible evidence of progress. Micro-goals are the building blocks of lasting achievement and make continuous effort feel manageable and purposeful. Recognize that setbacks are part of consistency. Missing a day or encountering obstacles does not negate progress. What matters is returning to action without delay. The habit of persistence, even after interruption, strengthens discipline and ensures long-term success is not derailed by temporary failures. Focus on habits, not outcomes. While results matter, they are secondary to the repeated behaviors that generate them. By concentrating on showing up and performing the actions that matter daily, results follow naturally. Habits created through consistency form a foundation for reliable performance across all areas of life. Reduce reliance on motivation. Motivation fluctuates, but consistent systems produce results even when enthusiasm wanes. Build routines that operate independently of mood or energy. When consistency becomes a default, progress continues even under difficult circumstances, making long-term success inevitable. Incorporate reflection into your consistent practice. Regularly evaluate what is working and what is not, then adjust systems without disrupting the pattern of daily execution. Reflection enhances effectiveness while preserving the core principle of repetition. Over time, this creates a feedback loop that strengthens both habits and results. Balance effort to prevent burnout. Consistency does not require extreme exertion every day. By pacing actions, maintaining sustainable routines, and allowing recovery, you ensure that effort can be maintained indefinitely. Long-term adherence to steady action outweighs short-term displays of intensity. Reward adherence to routines. Positive reinforcement, even in small ways, strengthens the likelihood of repeating consistent behavior. Recognition of effort, celebration of small achievements, and tracking progress all reinforce the value of consistency over temporary intensity. Rewards maintain motivation and reinforce daily action. Focus on compounding impact. Each consistent action builds on the last, creating momentum that amplifies over time. Even modest daily steps accumulate into significant transformation when performed reliably. Understanding the power of compounding motivates commitment to repeatable practices rather than seeking immediate dramatic results. Develop accountability structures. Share progress with a mentor, partner, or community to reinforce consistent engagement. External accountability increases adherence, reduces avoidance, and encourages perseverance on days when intrinsic drive is low. Systems that combine accountability with routine amplify the effectiveness of consistent action. Maintain flexibility within consistency. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances will occasionally disrupt routines. Adjust methods, timing, or intensity as needed while preserving the habit of daily engagement. Flexibility prevents temporary obstacles from breaking long-term momentum and supports continuous growth. Reflect on identity in relation to consistency. Seeing yourself as someone who shows up daily reinforces the behavior and strengthens self-concept. Identity-driven consistency ensures that action persists, not from obligation alone, but from alignment with the person you are becoming. The more integrated, consistent behavior is into your identity, the more natural it becomes. Understand that intensity without consistency is wasted potential. Short bursts of extreme effort may provide temporary results, but rarely sustain long-term growth. Sustainable success arises from repeated, reliable action that compounds over weeks, months, and years. Consistency is the true driver of lasting achievement. Finally, commit to showing up every day regardless of external circumstances. Embrace the power of repeated action, focus on systems, and prioritize sustainability over effort spikes. By valuing consistency above intensity, you create a life where progress is continuous, discipline is ingrained, and results are lasting. Chapter 13. Celebrate small wins to stay motivated and keep momentum. Progress becomes unstoppable when every small achievement is recognized and used as fuel to drive forward. Success is not only found in massive accomplishments, but in the accumulation of consistent, deliberate actions that produce tangible results over time. Celebrating small wins is a strategy that reinforces motivation, strengthens habits, and builds momentum for even greater achievements. Start by defining what constitutes a small win. Break larger goals into measurable, achievable steps, and acknowledge each completion. A small win could be finishing a task on time, maintaining a habit for a week, or overcoming a minor obstacle that previously caused hesitation. Clarity about what counts as progress ensures that recognition is meaningful and actionable. Document every small win. Recording achievements provides tangible evidence of effort and progress. Journals, apps, or simple checklists are effective tools to track milestones. Seeing a visual representation of growth reinforces commitment, highlights consistency, and provides a source of encouragement during periods of challenge or fatigue. Use celebrations strategically to maintain momentum. Rewards do not need to be extravagant, but should create a sense of accomplishment. Completing a daily target might warrant a moment of reflection, a short break, or acknowledgement with a friend. Recognition of effort reinforces the behavior, making it more likely to continue. Link small wins to long-term goals. Every minor accomplishment contributes to the larger objective, and understanding this connection strengthens purpose. When you see how small steps build towards significant outcomes, motivation increases and persistence becomes natural rather than forced. Each win becomes a building block towards sustained success. Create a habit of reflection. Take a few moments to pause and consider what was achieved and how it contributes to your growth. Reflection transforms routine tasks into meaningful progress, strengthens self-awareness, and encourages intentional action moving forward. By internalizing victories, you reinforce the mindset of continuous improvement. Share wins with others to amplify their impact. Communicating achievements with mentors, friends, or accountability partners creates social reinforcement, increases commitment, and provides encouragement. Recognition from others adds emotional weight to accomplishments and enhances motivation to maintain momentum. Celebrate progress in real time. Waiting for the completion of large milestones delays reinforcement and diminishes motivation. Recognizing effort as it happens ensures that positive behaviors are reinforced immediately, solidifying habits and sustaining engagement. Immediate acknowledgement strengthens the psychological link between action and reward. Focus on incremental improvement rather than perfection. Small wins demonstrate forward movement, even when outcomes are imperfect. Appreciating these incremental gains cultivates a mindset of persistence, resilience, and continual progress. Perfectionism can stall action, while celebrating small achievements encourages ongoing effort and learning. Use small wins to overcome stagnation. During challenging periods, even minor accomplishments can reignite momentum and shift mindset from frustration to confidence. Recognizing that progress is occurring despite difficulty motivates continued engagement and reduces the likelihood of giving up when faced with obstacles. Integrate visual cues to reinforce wins. Charts, graphs, or visual trackers of achievement provide daily reminders of progress and reinforce the habit loop. Seeing accumulated success strengthens belief in the process, maintains morale, and encourages consistent effort over time. Combine small wins with reflection on growth. Each achievement is an opportunity to assess skills, strategies, and effectiveness. Understanding what actions led to success allows replication and improvement. Reflection ensures that wins are not random, but part of a deliberate system that drives consistent advancement. Anchor small wins to routines and habits. By linking achievements to daily or weekly behaviors, the act of recognition becomes part of the system rather than an occasional occurrence. This ensures that celebrating progress is continuous, reinforcing the behaviors that produce consistent results. Use small wins to cultivate confidence. Repeated acknowledgement of achievement strengthens self-efficacy and belief in personal capability. Confidence fuels further action, reduces hesitation, and creates a positive feedback loop where success leads to more success. Momentum is generated when belief in your abilities grows with each small accomplishment. Balance celebration with continued focus. Recognition of achievement should inspire motivation without creating complacency. Use wins as stepping stones to propel action toward the next objective rather than endpoints. Maintaining focus ensures that momentum continues and progress compounds over time. Incorporate gratitude into acknowledgement. Appreciate the effort, discipline, and circumstances that enabled the achievement. Gratitude reinforces positive mindset, increases satisfaction, and strengthens resilience. Acknowledging small wins within the context of gratitude transforms ordinary actions into meaningful growth. Set micro goals specifically for the purpose of celebrating achievement. Strategically designing small milestones provides regular opportunities to recognize progress, reinforcing motivation and maintaining momentum. Micro goals create structure and ensure that the system of recognition is sustainable and aligned with long-term objectives. Leverage small wins to overcome self-doubt. Regularly acknowledging achievement builds evidence of capability and progress, counteracting negative thoughts and reinforcing determination. Confidence derived from tangible results reduces fear of failure and encourages consistent effort even during difficult periods. Track trends over time. Accumulated small wins reveal patterns of improvement, areas of strength, and opportunities for growth. Understanding these trends informs planning, guides focus, and reinforces the effectiveness of consistent action. Long-term momentum is sustained when wins are documented and their impact recognized. Use small wins to inspire resilience. Each minor success demonstrates that challenges can be overcome and progress is possible, even under difficult circumstances. Recognizing this capability strengthens persistence, reduces discouragement, and reinforces commitment to goals. Momentum is maintained when evidence of achievement counterbalances adversity. Finally, internalize the practice of celebrating small wins as an essential part of every system. This approach transforms effort into motivation, maintains engagement, and ensures that progress continues steadily. By consistently recognizing and building upon minor achievements, you create a cycle of momentum that propels long-term success, turning daily action into sustained growth. Chapter 14. Learn from mistakes quickly and redesign your system stronger. Mistakes are not failures, but opportunities to improve, adapt, and strengthen systems to ensure lasting success. Every misstep carries a lesson, and the speed at which you extract that lesson determines how quickly you can regain momentum and achieve your goals. Learning from mistakes is a skill, and like any skill, it requires deliberate practice, honesty, and a systematic approach. Begin by acknowledging the mistake immediately without excuses or self-blame. Avoiding responsibility delays recovery and prevents insights from being extracted. Clear recognition allows you to assess the situation objectively, determine the cause, and identify how to prevent repetition. Honesty with yourself is the first step toward resilience and system improvement. Analyze the mistake to understand the root cause. Examine what actions, decisions, or assumptions led to the undesired outcome. Look beyond superficial factors and dig into patterns, habits, and structural weaknesses in your current system. Root cause analysis transforms errors from random setbacks into actionable intelligence that informs better design. Extract actionable lessons from the error. Identify what can be done differently next time, what behaviors need adjustment, and what processes require modification. Focus on practical solutions rather than dwelling on regret. Immediate application of these lessons prevents similar mistakes from recurring and accelerates progress. Redesign your system with improvements based on insights gained. Mistakes reveal weaknesses in routines, structures, or strategies. Use them as opportunities to refine processes, simplify workflows, and strengthen habits. Adjust systems so they are resilient to errors, more efficient, and better aligned with your long-term objectives. Test new approaches quickly. Implement the revised system on a small scale and evaluate its effectiveness. Rapid experimentation allows for continuous iteration without losing momentum. By acting immediately, you transform theoretical lessons into practical experience and reinforce adaptability as part of your growth strategy. Focus on patterns rather than isolated incidents. One mistake may be random, but repeated errors often indicate systemic issues. Identifying recurring patterns allows you to make structural changes rather than applying temporary fixes. This approach ensures that your system becomes stronger and more reliable over time. Document mistakes and the solutions applied. Maintaining a record provides a reference for future challenges and reinforces learning. Written reflection increases accountability and allows you to track the evolution of your system, making it easier to replicate successes and avoid past errors. Documentation also strengthens awareness and reinforces the habit of continuous improvement. Cultivate a mindset of curiosity instead of fear. Viewing mistakes as experiments rather than failures reduces stress, preserves motivation, and encourages proactive problem-solving. Curiosity drives you to ask critical questions, seek solutions, and iterate rapidly, transforming errors into tools for growth rather than sources of discouragement. Use feedback from others to enhance learning. Accountability partners, mentors, or colleagues can offer perspectives that reveal overlooked mistakes or provide alternative solutions. External input strengthens understanding, provides diverse viewpoints, and accelerates system refinement. Engaging others in the learning process amplifies insights and ensures more robust adjustments. Separate identity from error. Avoid internalizing mistakes as a reflection of personal worth. Focus on the action and the system rather than self-criticism. Maintaining objectivity allows for faster correction, preserves confidence, and ensures that learning is focused on improvement rather than emotional reaction. Break down the system into manageable components for analysis. Identify which specific steps or elements contributed to the mistake and which functioned effectively. Targeted adjustments allow you to strengthen weak areas without dismantling the entire system, preserving continuity while improving efficiency and resilience. Set specific corrective actions with measurable outcomes. Define what success looks like for the redesigned system and track whether the changes prevent repetition of the mistake. Clear metrics create accountability, provide evidence of improvement, and reinforce confidence in the updated approach. Implement mistakes as early warning signals. Use errors as indicators of potential weaknesses before they escalate into larger problems. Recognizing patterns early allows for proactive refinement, ensuring the system evolves in response to real-world challenges rather than being reactive to failures. Focus on speed in learning. Delaying reflection or redesign extends the impact of mistakes and slows progress. Rapid evaluation, adjustment, and re-implementation minimize downtime and prevent errors from undermining motivation. Quick learning transforms setbacks into catalysts for immediate action. Maintain flexibility in your system. No structure is perfect, and each failure highlights areas that require adaptation. Build resilience into routines, processes, and habits so the system can accommodate unforeseen challenges while continuing to deliver results. Flexibility ensures sustainability and long-term reliability. Celebrate lessons learned. Recognizing that mistakes contribute to growth reinforces positive framing and strengthens perseverance. Gratitude for insight gained from error encourages continued experimentation, reflection, and refinement, making the process of improvement both empowering and motivating. Integrate mistake analysis into regular review cycles. Weekly or monthly reflection on errors and adjustments ensures that learning becomes habitual rather than sporadic. Regular analysis prevents repeated patterns and ensures that the system continuously evolves in alignment with goals and experiences. Encourage experimentation within safe boundaries. Structured experimentation allows mistakes to occur in controlled conditions where insights can be gained without jeopardizing critical outcomes. This approach promotes innovation, reinforces learning, and strengthens adaptability in a practical and disciplined manner. Recognize that every mistake improves your ability to anticipate and mitigate future errors. Each lesson strengthens foresight, sharpens decision-making, and enhances strategic thinking. By embedding learning into the system, mistakes are transformed from setbacks into stepping stones for accelerated achievement and lasting success. Finally, commit to approaching every mistake with urgency, reflection, and actionable redesign. Transform errors into tools that strengthen your systems, reinforce discipline, and enhance adaptability. By learning quickly and rebuilding stronger, each setback becomes a foundation for growth, ensuring continuous progress and the reliable achievement of your goals. Chapter 15. Plan your mornings with habits that set clear direction. Every morning is a new opportunity to take control of your day and set a clear direction toward your goals. The way you start determines the energy, focus, and decisions that follow, making morning habits one of the most powerful tools for consistent progress. Planning your morning deliberately ensures that you approach each day with clarity, purpose, and momentum rather than reacting to distractions or circumstances. Begin by defining the habits that create structure and focus. Simple routines such as waking up at a consistent time, engaging in brief physical activity, and reviewing priorities establish a foundation of control. These habits orient the mind toward action and reduce the chaos that can derail progress. Consistency in morning routines builds stability and sets the tone for disciplined behavior throughout the day. Prioritize preparation the night before. Identify the tasks, intentions, and goals for the following day to reduce decision fatigue and start with clarity. Preparing clothing, meals, or materials in advance frees mental energy in the morning, allowing you to focus entirely on high-impact activities rather than logistical details. When preparation is part of your system, the morning becomes a launchpad rather than a scramble. Incorporate reflection into your morning routine. Spend a few minutes reviewing what was achieved the previous day and clarifying priorities for today. Reflection sharpens awareness, aligns effort with goals, and highlights areas for improvement. By consciously assessing progress and intention, you create a clear mental roadmap for the day. Establish a brief period of focused planning. Writing down the top 3 tasks that matter most ensures that energy is directed toward high-value actions. Avoid overloading your list. Clarity comes from focusing on essential actions rather than attempting to do everything at once. Concentrated effort on priorities builds momentum and increases the likelihood of achieving meaningful outcomes. Include habits that energize the body and mind. Physical movement, stretching, or light exercise increases circulation and mental alertness, preparing you to tackle challenges effectively. Nutrition, hydration, and brief mindfulness practices further support energy levels and cognitive function. A healthy body supports consistent action, making mornings more productive and intentional. Create a mental framework for focus. Use a short period of meditation, journaling, or intentional breathing to cultivate calmness, clarity, and readiness. Mental alignment in the morning enhances decision-making, reduces impulsive behavior, and strengthens the ability to maintain focus throughout the day. When the mind is prepared, tasks become easier to execute and distractions lose their power. Design a ritual for motivation. Begin each morning with affirmations, reading or listening to content that reinforces your purpose. Exposure to inspirational material primes the mind for action, reinforces commitment to goals, and strengthens belief in your ability to achieve them. Motivation is a daily habit, not a one-time event, and morning practices create a consistent source of drive. Structure the environment to support morning efficiency. Arrange workspaces, tools, and materials so that the first actions of the day are accessible and clear. Reducing friction between intention and execution ensures that energy is spent on meaningful tasks rather than logistics or unnecessary choices. A supportive environment turns intention into immediate action. Avoid distractions during morning routines. Silence notifications, postpone social media, and limit exposure to external interruptions until key priorities are addressed. The first hours of the day are critical for establishing momentum, and focused attention reinforces both discipline and clarity. Protecting this time ensures that essential habits are completed consistently. Integrate learning into the morning. Dedicate a short period to reading, listening, or practicing skills relevant to your goals. Continuous growth strengthens capability, increases confidence, and aligns daily action with long-term objectives. Learning in the morning sets an intelligent, proactive tone for the day and keeps improvement consistent. Use micro-actions to gain early wins. Completing even small tasks early creates psychological momentum and reinforces the habit of execution. Early accomplishments signal competence, increase motivation, and reduce procrastination later in the day. Momentum from small wins compounds as more tasks are tackled effectively. Plan for energy alignment. Recognize when your peak focus and energy occur in the morning and allocate the most demanding tasks during that window. Less critical actions can be scheduled for lower energy periods, ensuring that important work receives maximum attention. Strategic alignment of tasks with energy optimizes productivity and reduces fatigue. Maintain adaptability in your routine. While structure is vital, allow minor adjustments to accommodate unexpected circumstances without abandoning core habits. Flexibility ensures that the system remains functional and sustainable over time, rather than rigid and prone to failure under pressure. A resilient morning routine can withstand real-life variability while maintaining focus on priorities. Track and review your morning habits over time. Observe patterns, note which activities yield results, and adjust practices as necessary. Data-driven reflection strengthens the system and ensures continuous improvement in productivity, focus, and personal growth. A well-evaluated routine evolves with experience, maintaining effectiveness and relevance. Include deliberate transitions from morning habits to daily work, concluding the routine with a clear signal such as reviewing the task list or beginning the first priority action, bridges intention to execution. This transition prevents momentum from dissipating and ensures that the clarity and energy cultivated in the morning carry through to meaningful output. Incorporate accountability where possible. Share morning intentions with a partner, coach, or mentor to reinforce commitment. Knowing that someone else is aware of your habits increases consistency and ensures that routines are treated with seriousness and reliability. Accountability enhances both discipline and follow-through. Celebrate completion of the morning routine. Recognition of effort, even in simple forms, reinforces habit formation and creates a positive association with the behavior. Consistent celebration, acknowledgement, or reflection strengthens motivation and encourages ongoing adherence. Positive reinforcements solidifies the foundation for daily success. Visualize the desired outcomes of the day. Spend moments imagining tasks completed and progress achieved. Visualization primes the mind, increases focus, and reinforces belief in personal capability. When combined with structured habits, it creates a mental framework that guides action with precision and clarity. Commit to consistency above perfection. The goal is to execute the morning routine reliably, not flawlessly. Daily practice, even when imperfect, builds discipline, establishes momentum, and aligns actions with long-term objectives. Repetition, more than intensity, ensures that mornings remain a powerful launchpad for sustained achievement. Finally, recognize that deliberate morning habits create the blueprint for daily success. Each intentional action, reflection, and early accomplishment compounds to form momentum that carries through the day. By designing mornings with clarity, focus, and purpose, you set yourself on a path where each day begins with direction, energy, and confidence, making progress toward your goals inevitable. Chapter 16. End each day by reviewing lessons and planning tomorrow. Every evening presents an opportunity to strengthen your growth, refine your actions, and prepare for the next day with clarity and purpose. Ending the day intentionally by reviewing lessons and planning tomorrow transforms routine nights into powerful tools for progress. Success is built not only through action, but through reflection, adjustment, and foresight. Taking time each day to assess what worked, what didn't, and how to improve ensures that your momentum continues and that each tomorrow is more effective than today. Begin by setting aside a dedicated period at the end of the day for reflection. Even 15 to 30 minutes is sufficient to gain meaningful insights. This practice allows you to pause, step back from the busyness of the day, and examine both achievements and setbacks with honesty and focus. Reflection prevents habits from becoming mechanical and ensures that daily effort is aligned with long-term objectives. Start with reviewing accomplishments. Identify the tasks you completed, the progress made on goals, and the small wins achieved. Documenting successes reinforces confidence and provides evidence that consistent effort produces results. Recognizing even minor achievements maintains motivation, strengthens habits, and creates a sense of momentum that carries into tomorrow. Next, examine challenges and mistakes objectively. Identify what did not go as planned and why. Break down problems into actionable insights rather than dwelling on frustration or blame. Understanding the cause of setbacks provides clarity for future decisions and prevents the repetition of errors. Each challenge becomes a lesson that strengthens resilience and adaptability. Evaluate your use of time throughout the day. Assess whether energy and effort were allocated effectively to high-priority tasks. Determine if distractions or low-value activities impeded progress. Honest analysis of time management highlights areas for improvement and informs the structure of tomorrow's plan, ensuring that energy is focused where it produces the most impact. Reflect on emotional and mental states during the day. Consider moments of stress, distraction, or loss of motivation and identify triggers. Awareness of emotional patterns allows for adjustments in environment, habits, or mindset. By addressing the mental and emotional components of ONIN, you create conditions for more consistent productivity and clearer decision-making in the future. Document insights gained. Journaling or using a digital tool to record observations makes reflection concrete. Writing reinforces understanding, provides a reference for future review, and strengthens the habit of continuous improvement. Over time, documented lessons become a personal library of strategies, solutions, and evidence of growth. Plan tomorrow intentionally based on reflection. Identify the most important tasks, key priorities, and high-impact actions for the following day. Structuring tomorrow in advance reduces decision fatigue, ensures focus on what truly matters, and increases the likelihood of completing critical objectives. A clear plan transforms tomorrow from uncertainty into an actionable roadmap. Incorporate flexibility into your plan. Life is unpredictable, and rigid expectations can lead to frustration. Allow for adjustments while maintaining focus on priorities. Flexible planning ensures that even when circumstances shift, progress remains steady and the system of reflection and preparation remains effective. Use lessons from today to refine systems and habits. If a particular approach did not work, adjust methods, routines, or tools accordingly. Iterative improvement prevents repetition of inefficiency and strengthens the effectiveness of your daily systems. Every day becomes a laboratory for testing, learning, and optimizing your approach to goals. Anchor the evening review to a positive mindset. Focus on progress made, lessons learned, and opportunities ahead, rather than on what went wrong. Positive framing reinforces motivation, maintains confidence, and ensures that reflection inspires action rather than discouragement. Gratitude for accomplishments and insight transforms the practice into an empowering routine. Identify areas for skill development. Each day provides information about gaps in knowledge, abilities, or strategies. Highlighting these areas allows you to integrate learning, practice, or study into tomorrow's plan. Continuous skill improvement compounds over time, producing stronger competence and increased capacity. Achieve goals. Use the review to assess energy levels and alignment. Note times when focus, energy, or creativity was highest and lowest. Schedule high-priority or demanding tasks during peak periods in the future. Understanding energy patterns ensures that effort is applied efficiently and consistently, maximizing results and minimizing burnout. Include a brief moment to visualize tomorrow's success. Imagine completing key tasks, maintaining focus, and experiencing small wins. Visualization strengthens commitment, clarifies intention, and primes the mind to act in alignment with your goals. Seeing the day in advance mentally prepares you for execution, making actions more deliberate and effective. Set micro-objectives for the next day. Breaking tasks into manageable steps increases the likelihood of completion and reinforces momentum. Micro-objectives make action tangible, reduce procrastination, and create early wins that build confidence and motivation throughout the day. Each step becomes a measurable opportunity for progress. Consider accountability during planning. Share tomorrow's key actions with a partner, mentor, or colleague to reinforce commitment. External accountability increases follow-through, reduces avoidance, and strengthens adherence to priorities. When plans are communicated, the likelihood of execution rises, creating an additional layer of motivation. End the day with a clear signal that reflection and planning are complete. This could be a written summary, a short meditation, or a final review of tomorrow's tasks. Closure reinforces discipline, reduces mental clutter, and ensures that the mind can rest while remaining aligned with long-term objectives. Maintain consistency in the evening review. Performing this practice daily creates a habit that compounds over time. The repetition builds mental clarity, strengthens systems, and ensures that learning from each day is integrated into actionable plans. Consistency turns reflection and planning into a predictable force for growth and productivity. Recognize that ending the day intentionally is as critical as starting it with purpose. Morning routines set direction, but evening reflection ensures that direction remains effective and adaptive. Closing the day with insight, assessment, and planning ensures that each new day begins with clarity, energy, and focus. Integrate the practice into your identity. See yourself as someone who reviews, reflects, and plans daily. When reflection becomes a defining habit, it naturally guides behavior, strengthens discipline, and fosters a mindset of continuous improvement. Your identity as a proactive, intentional individual reinforces action, accountability, and consistent progress. Finally, commit to ending every day with reflection and planning. Treat each night as an opportunity to learn, adjust, and prepare for tomorrow. By reviewing lessons quickly and designing tomorrow intentionally, you create a system that continuously evolves, reinforces momentum, and ensures that progress is not left to chance, but directed by clarity, focus, and disciplined action. Chapter 17. Keep your systems flexible so they adapt to real life. True systems for success are not rigid rules, but adaptable frameworks that bend to reality while keeping progress steady and purposeful. Life is unpredictable, and the ability to adjust without abandoning goals separates consistent achievers from those who stumble when circumstances shift. Flexibility within your systems ensures that progress continues even when challenges, distractions, or unexpected events arise. Start by designing systems with core principles rather than fixed procedures. Identify the essential elements that drive results and allow non-essential components to shift as needed. When you focus on outcomes rather than rigid methods, the system maintains effectiveness while accommodating variation. Flexibility preserves momentum while preventing frustration caused by minor disruptions. Recognize the difference between structure and rigidity. Structure provides guidance, clarity, and stability, whereas rigidity resists necessary change and stifles progress. By anchoring your system to principles and goals instead of specific actions, you create a foundation that is resilient under pressure and adaptable to new circumstances. Regularly assess how your system performs under changing conditions. Observe which routines, habits, and processes function well under stress, which need modification, and where inefficiencies arise. Continuous evaluation ensures that your system remains effective, relevant, and aligned with real-world conditions. Feedback loops are essential for responsive adjustment and long-term resilience. Build contingency options into your systems. Anticipate potential obstacles and design alternative approaches to maintain progress. Whether it is reallocating time, adjusting priorities, or modifying tasks, having prepared responses prevents disruption from derailing action. Flexibility combined with preparation turns challenges into manageable variations rather than threats to success. Allow for incremental experimentation. Test new methods, tools, or strategies within the system to see if improvements can be integrated without compromising core objectives. Iterative experimentation strengthens adaptability and ensures that the system evolves with experience rather than remaining static. Small tests reveal insights that inform larger adjustments and improve overall efficiency. Balance consistency with adaptability. Consistency builds momentum, but blind adherence without evaluation limits growth. Use consistency as the backbone while making intentional adjustments where necessary. Maintaining a balance ensures that progress is sustained even when the environment or personal circumstances shift unexpectedly. Empower decision-making within the system. Create rules or principles that guide choices rather than rigid instructions. When the parameters are clear, adjustments can be made confidently without losing sight of long-term goals. Empowered decision-making allows action to continue smoothly during periods of uncertainty or disruption. Embrace real-world interruptions as opportunities to improve the system. When obstacles arise, analyze why they occurred, how the system responded, and what can be optimized. Unexpected challenges are natural and provide information that can strengthen flexibility and efficiency. Every deviation from the plan is a chance to reinforce resilience. Integrate review points to adjust systematically. Schedule regular check-ins to evaluate which components of your system work effectively and which need refinement. Periodic assessment allows for controlled adaptation rather than reactive changes, ensuring that the system evolves intentionally and sustainably. Simplify components to make adaptation easier. Systems that are overly complex resist change and become fragile under pressure. Reducing unnecessary steps, clarifying priorities, and focusing on essential actions makes it easier to shift routines when circumstances demand. Simplicity increases both flexibility and reliability. Encourage mental flexibility alongside structural flexibility. Train yourself to view change as an opportunity rather than a setback. Adaptability in thinking allows you to respond creatively, maintain focus, and apply the system effectively even when external conditions shift. A flexible mindset complements an adaptable system and strengthens overall performance. Anticipate variability in energy, focus, and motivation. Design systems that account for fluctuations in performance throughout the day or week. Align tasks with natural peaks in productivity and allow less critical actions during lower energy periods. Systems that account for human variability are more sustainable and realistic. Document variations and improvements. Keeping a record of changes, adjustments, and outcomes allows you to learn from real-world application. Documentation strengthens understanding of what works under which circumstances and informs future adaptations. Learning from past adjustments ensures that flexibility is strategic rather than random. Leverage flexibility to maintain progress during transitions. Life changes such as travel, illness, or workload shifts can disrupt routines. Systems that can bend without breaking allow continuation of action toward goals. Flexibility ensures that temporary disruptions do not become permanent setbacks. Integrate feedback from others into adjustments. Mentors, colleagues, or accountability partners may provide insights that highlight areas for improvement or reveal blind spots. External input enhances system adaptability and ensures that modifications are informed by experience beyond your own. Maintain clarity of purpose within a flexible system. Adjustments should not compromise core goals or values. Every modification should support the overarching objective, keeping the system aligned with long-term intentions. Purpose-driven flexibility ensures that change strengthens rather than dilutes results. Use flexible systems to experiment with efficiency. When new methods increase effectiveness without undermining consistency, incorporate them permanently. When they fail, discard or modify them without guilt. Flexibility enables continuous optimization and prevents stagnation. Accept that failure is part of the learning process. Flexible systems absorb mistakes and allow for rapid correction without collapse. Viewing setbacks as data points rather than disasters encourages adjustment, innovation, and sustained progress. Resilient systems integrate mistakes as opportunities for growth. Finally, commit to designing systems that evolve with your life. Treat flexibility as an essential feature rather than a bonus. When systems are adaptable, they sustain progress, absorb challenges, and ensure that daily action remains aligned with long-term goals. Flexibility transforms rigid routines into reliable structures that thrive in real life, empowering consistent achievement and personal growth. Chapter 18. Focus on one system at a time for mastery. Mastery is achieved not through scattered effort, but by focusing intensely on one system at a time until it becomes second nature and consistently produces results. Attempting to juggle multiple systems at once leads to diluted effort, confusion, and slow progress. Concentrating your energy on a single system allows for deep understanding, precise refinement, and reliable execution, which creates momentum and builds confidence. Start by selecting the system that will have the greatest impact on your goals. Prioritize based on importance and potential to move you forward. Whether it is a productivity routine, a fitness plan, or a financial tracking method, choosing one system to focus on ensures that energy is applied strategically rather than spread thinly across many areas. Commit to learning every component of the system thoroughly. Understand each step, the reasoning behind it, and the expected outcomes. When the details are clear, execution becomes smooth and consistent, reducing errors and wasted effort. Mastery requires complete familiarity, not superficial engagement. Practice consistently, without distraction. Daily repetition of the system solidifies habits, reinforces neural pathways, and builds automaticity. The more you practice deliberately, the less mental energy the system consumes, allowing you to operate efficiently while maintaining high standards of performance. Monitor performance closely. Track results, behaviors, and outcomes to understand how the system is functioning in real-world conditions. Observation allows for incremental improvements, prevents errors from becoming habits, and strengthens understanding of cause and effect within the system. Refine the system based on real experience. Identify bottlenecks, weak points, or inefficiencies and make adjustments immediately. Mastery is not static. It is achieved through continuous refinement and learning from every action. Small improvements compound over time, creating a system that is both strong and reliable. Avoid distractions from other systems until mastery is achieved. Introducing multiple new routines simultaneously splits focus, increases cognitive load, and slows learning. Deliberate prioritization ensures that the chosen system receives full attention until it is ingrained and performs with minimal conscious effort. Build accountability into the process. Share goals, progress, and challenges with a mentor, peer, or accountability partner to maintain focus and adherence. External observation increases discipline and encourages consistent practice, which accelerates mastery. Measure progress with specific metrics. Define clear criteria for success within the system and track improvements daily or weekly. Quantitative feedback reinforces learning, motivates continued effort, and provides a tangible sense of growth. Mastery is visible through consistent, measurable results, not abstract notions of skill. Integrate reflection into practice. At the end of each day or week, assess what worked, what could improve, and how execution aligns with intended outcomes. Reflection enhances understanding, reinforces learning, and identifies opportunities to optimize the system further. Focus on the quality of execution over quantity. Deep, deliberate action in a single system produces stronger results than superficial engagement across many areas. Attention to detail ensures that habits are built correctly and that the system operates as intended, establishing a foundation for future expansion. Use visualization to reinforce mastery. Mentally rehearsing the steps of the system strengthens neural pathways, improves confidence, and prepares you for consistent execution. Visualization complements physical practice and helps maintain focus on correct procedures even under pressure. Embrace patience. Mastery is the result of repeated, disciplined effort over time. Avoid the temptation to rush into multiple new systems or expect immediate results. Consistent, patient practice ensures that the system is embedded deeply and functions reliably, even in challenging circumstances. Handle setbacks as opportunities to strengthen mastery. Mistakes within the system reveal areas for improvement and highlight points of misunderstanding. Address errors promptly, adjust processes, and continue practice without discouragement. Resilience reinforces both skill and confidence in the system. Simplify components for focus. Break the system into manageable steps and practice each until proficiency is achieved. Gradually integrate all steps into a seamless flow to ensure smooth and efficient execution. Simplicity prevents overwhelm and accelerates mastery by keeping attention on essential actions. Maintain mental clarity and focus. Reduce distractions, avoid multitasking, and ensure your environment supports concentrated practice. Clear surroundings and a focused mindset increase efficiency and reinforce learning, allowing the system to become fully ingrained more quickly. Recognize milestones in mastery. Celebrate when key components become automatic and results become consistent. Acknowledging progress reinforces discipline, motivates continued effort, and provides feedback on how close you are to complete proficiency. Milestones create tangible markers of development. Adapt the system to changing conditions without compromising core principles. Flexibility allows the system to remain effective in varying circumstances while maintaining the consistency necessary for mastery. Resilient systems perform reliably regardless of external challenges. Teach or explain the system to others. Explaining processes reinforces understanding, highlights gaps in knowledge, and strengthens the ability to apply the system independently. Teaching converts practical skills into internalized mastery and builds confidence in execution. Commit fully to the chosen system until it is mastered. Once proficiency is achieved, you can expand focus to other systems, with confidence that previous progress is stable and reliable. Singular focus ensures that learning is deep, habits are strong, and outcomes are predictable. Finally, recognize that mastery of one system transforms your capacity for growth. Deep focus, consistent practice, and deliberate refinement create confidence, efficiency, and momentum. By committing to one system at a time, every action becomes more purposeful, every result more predictable, and every goal more achievable, establishing a foundation for sustained personal and professional success. Chapter 19. Track energy levels and align tasks with peak performance. Peak performance is not just about working harder, but about working smarter by aligning tasks with your natural energy levels throughout the day. Understanding when your mind and body operate at their highest capacity allows you to maximize efficiency, focus, and productivity. Tracking energy is not a passive observation. It is a deliberate strategy that turns fatigue, distraction, and mental drain into manageable factors that inform action and decision-making. Begin by observing your natural rhythms over several days. Note when you feel alert, focused, and motivated, and when you experience dips in concentration, fatigue, or low motivation. Tracking these patterns provides insight into the optimal windows for different types of work. Some tasks require deep focus and creative thinking, while others are routine or administrative, and aligning them with your energy ensures they are performed effectively. Record energy levels consistently. Use a journal, digital tool, or simple rating system to mark high, medium, and low energy periods. Document mental clarity, physical alertness, and emotional state at different times of day. Patterns emerge when data is collected over time, providing a clear map of when to schedule critical tasks for maximum impact. Assign high-value, high-focus work to peak energy periods. Tasks that require problem-solving, strategic thinking, or intense concentration should coincide with times when your mental capacity is strongest. Scheduling these tasks during your low-energy periods reduces effectiveness, increases errors, and slows progress. Matching energy to task complexity creates momentum and efficiency. Reserve routine, less demanding tasks for lower energy periods. Simple emails, administrative work, or repetitive actions can be completed when focus is reduced without sacrificing quality. This approach preserves peak energy for tasks that truly require attention and creativity, preventing burnout and optimizing output across the day. Integrate breaks strategically. Energy naturally fluctuates, and regular pauses prevent mental fatigue from undermining productivity. Short breaks, movement, or brief mindfulness exercises recharge focus and sustain consistent performance. Planning rest around energy patterns ensures that high-intensity work is supported by recovery and reduces the risk of exhaustion. Use physical indicators to track energy. Pay attention to body signals such as posture, alertness, muscle tension, and hunger. Physical cues often precede mental decline, allowing for early adjustments, responding to these signals with rest. Hydration or movement keeps performance steady and prevents dips from impacting critical tasks. Monitor emotional and mental states alongside energy. Stress, mood fluctuations, and motivation levels affect performance as much as physical energy. Observing these factors allows you to schedule tasks in alignment with both mental and physical capacity. Emotional awareness helps manage responses, maintain clarity, and enhance decision-making throughout the day. Plan for variability. Energy levels are influenced by sleep, nutrition, exercise, and external factors. Anticipate fluctuations and maintain a flexible schedule that allows for adjustments without compromising priorities. Flexibility ensures that peak tasks are completed when conditions permit and that low-energy periods are productive in other ways. Align system habits with energy tracking. Pair high-energy periods with key routines, accountability check-ins, or challenging projects. Use low-energy periods for maintenance tasks or skill-building activities that are less cognitively demanding. Synchronizing systems with natural rhythms creates efficiency, reduces friction, and sustains momentum over time. Experiment and adjust. No two individuals have identical energy patterns, and even personal rhythms can shift due to lifestyle changes or external demands. Test different task schedules, note performance outcomes, and adjust plans to optimize alignment. Iterative experimentation strengthens understanding of your unique energy cycles and enhances productivity. Integrate morning and evening reflection. Evaluate what tasks were most effectively completed and when energy levels peaked. Review discrepancies between perceived and actual productivity, and use insights to refine task alignment. Consistent reflection strengthens accuracy in predicting performance and reinforces disciplined planning. Use tracking to prevent overcommitment. Knowing your energy limits allows you to schedule realistically and avoid burnout. Overloading peak periods leads to fatigue, mistakes, and reduced long-term productivity. Strategic scheduling based on energy ensures sustainable effort and consistent results. Include recovery strategies. High-intensity work requires energy replenishment through sleep, nutrition, exercise, and mental breaks. Tracking energy highlights when recovery is needed, making it an active component of performance management rather than an afterthought. Proper recovery enhances clarity, resilience, and sustained focus. Leverage visualization techniques. Mentally rehearsing tasks during high-energy windows primes the brain for focused execution and strengthens preparation. Visualization helps anticipate challenges, enhances readiness, and ensures that energy is applied effectively. Combined with task alignment, it maximizes productivity and reduces wasted effort. Create energy-aligned rituals. Begin peak performance periods with routines that signal readiness and focus. Whether it is a brief meditation, movement, or reviewing priorities, rituals optimize mental and physical energy, creating consistent conditions for high-quality output. Habits reinforce alignment and ensure reliability in performance. Incorporate accountability into energy tracking. Share insights with a mentor, coach, or peer to maintain adherence to task alignment strategies. External accountability reinforces discipline, motivates adherence, and ensures that energy is strategically directed toward high-priority outcomes. Recognize the impact of environment. Lighting, noise, temperature, and workspace organization influence energy levels. Adjust environmental factors to support peak performance periods and reduce strain during low-energy phases. An optimized environment amplifies the effectiveness of aligned tasks and reinforces focus. Track progress over time. Observe improvements in efficiency, task completion, and focus as energy alignment becomes habitual. Regular monitoring demonstrates the compounding effect of aligning work with natural rhythms and reinforces the value of disciplined tracking. Consistency transforms insight into measurable results. Finally, commit to using energy tracking as a daily strategy, understanding personal rhythms, aligning tasks with peak performance, and making strategic adjustments ensures that every day is structured for maximum effectiveness. By treating energy as a resource to manage rather than an afterthought, you create a system that multiplies output, maintains clarity, and accelerates progress toward meaningful goals. Chapter 20. Commit to lifelong growth by upgrading systems as you evolve. Growth is not a destination, but a lifelong journey that requires continual refinement, adaptation, and commitment to evolving systems that support your ever-changing goals and potential. Success is built on momentum, but momentum is only sustainable when your systems evolve alongside your personal development. A system that worked yesterday may not serve you tomorrow, and recognizing the need for upgrades ensures that progress never stalls. Begin by acknowledging that personal evolution is constant. Skills, responsibilities, ambitions, and environments change over time, and your systems must reflect these shifts. What was effective last year may be insufficient or inefficient today. Observing these changes with clarity allows you to modify routines, habits, and processes to remain aligned with current realities and future aspirations. Regularly review the systems you rely on. Examine whether each system continues to produce desired outcomes efficiently. Assess effectiveness, gaps, and areas for improvement. Reflection prevents stagnation, highlights opportunities for refinement, and keeps your practices aligned with evolving priorities. Systems should serve you, not constrain you. Upgrade incrementally. Major overhauls are rarely sustainable. Introduce small adjustments. Test them and evaluate results before fully integrating changes. Incremental improvement ensures consistency in progress while minimizing disruption. Each refinement compounds over time, creating stronger and more adaptable systems that grow with you. Stay informed and seek knowledge to guide upgrades. Learning new strategies, technologies, or methodologies enhances system effectiveness. Continuous learning fuels improvement and ensures that your systems leverage the best tools and approaches available. Knowledge allows adaptation to be intentional, strategic, and impactful rather than reactive. Integrate feedback from experience. Observe what works, what fails, and why. Real-world outcomes provide the most reliable guide for system improvement. Adaptation without reflection risks unnecessary complexity or inefficiency. Tracking results ensures that every modification strengthens performance and drives meaningful progress. Prioritize alignment with evolving goals. As ambitions grow or shift, systems must reflect these changes. A system designed for one goal may hinder progress toward another if not adjusted. Ensuring alignment prevents wasted effort, clarifies direction, and maximizes impact. Systems should be flexible frameworks, not rigid routines. Maintain core principles even while upgrading. While methods may change, underlying values and goals provide stability. Systems evolve without losing sight of purpose, allowing adaptation to enhance rather than compromise effectiveness. Core principles serve as anchors, guiding the evolution of processes in alignment with long-term vision. Embrace technology and tools strategically. New applications, platforms, or methods can streamline effort, improve tracking, or increase efficiency. Upgrading systems to incorporate relevant tools enhances performance without adding unnecessary complexity. Choose tools that amplify focus and productivity rather than distract from core goals. Document system upgrades and outcomes. Keeping a record of adjustments, successes, and failures provides a reference for continuous improvement. Documentation ensures that lessons are preserved, reinforces accountability, and informs future decisions. Knowledge gained through experience becomes a guide for evolving systems over time. Cultivate a mindset of curiosity and adaptability. Viewing change as an opportunity rather than a disruption encourages proactive system evolution. Openness to experimentation and exploration ensures that growth continues even when circumstances are uncertain. Mindset fuels action, and evolving systems thrive when the mind is flexible and forward-looking. Integrate reflection into routine. Weekly or monthly reviews of systems provide clarity on what requires adjustment. Reflection allows observation of trends, identification of inefficiencies, and prioritization of upgrades. Consistent review prevents complacency and ensures that systems remain aligned with your trajectory. Encourage experimentation and iteration. Test new approaches within existing systems to evaluate effectiveness. Iteration allows you to discover more efficient methods, eliminate redundant steps, and refine processes for better outcomes. Controlled experimentation strengthens adaptability and creates resilient systems. Focus on sustainability. Systems must support long-term growth without burning out resources, energy, or motivation. Upgrades should enhance sustainability by streamlining tasks, improving clarity, and reducing friction. Efficient systems maintain performance over time while preserving well-being and resilience. Seek accountability during system evolution. Share adjustments, insights, and goals with mentors, peers, or coaches. External accountability provides perspective, reinforces discipline, and ensures that modifications are implemented thoughtfully and effectively. Accountability helps maintain focus on long-term growth rather than short-term convenience. Evaluate energy and capacity when upgrading systems. New responsibilities, tasks, or challenges may require adjustments to workflow, timing, or intensity. Align systems with physical, mental, and emotional capacity to ensure that changes are sustainable and effective. Energy-conscious upgrades maintain performance and prevent fatigue from undermining progress. Integrate personal growth into system evolution. Skills, knowledge, habits, and behaviors are interconnected. When systems adapt to support emerging capabilities, performance multiplies. Continuous learning, practice, and habit refinement feed directly into system improvement, creating a feedback loop of growth and efficiency. Anticipate external changes, market shifts, technological developments, or social demands may necessitate system adjustments. Staying proactive ensures that your approach remains effective, regardless of external pressures. Preparing for change strengthens resilience and guarantees that systems remain relevant. Celebrate progress during upgrades. Acknowledge improvements in efficiency, results, and consistency as systems evolve. Recognizing incremental achievements reinforces commitment, motivates continued refinement, and provides evidence that growth is both attainable and measurable. Positive reinforcement strengthens discipline and encourages continuous improvement. Commit to a mindset of lifelong evolution. Understand that mastery and improvement are never complete. Every stage of life offers new challenges, opportunities, and lessons that require systems to adapt. Viewing system evolution as an ongoing process ensures that progress is continuous, intentional, and aligned with personal growth. Finally, recognize that upgrading systems as you evolve is the ultimate investment in yourself. Each refinement, adjustment, and improvement strengthens your ability to achieve goals, maintain momentum, and adapt to life's challenges. Lifelong growth is sustained by the deliberate evolution of systems, empowering consistent achievement, resilience, and progress in every area of life.